Kansas against the Jayhawks. The two teams will play in football on Saturday. It has been 59 years since they last did that. A long time between meetings for Arizona football and Kansas football. But we will get that matchup on Saturday here, homecoming Saturday in Tucson, Arizona. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. It is DK on the Sports Tip. So glad you could be with us. We want to talk to you today, get your thoughts on this homecoming week. Are you excited about that? Do you have parties planned with your college friends? I have not been back to my homecoming this will be the last time I went was 2014. Now, obviously, I'm been heavily involved in coverage of this program now, pretty much ever since I got here in 2008. So there really just have not been many weekends when I could get back to Southern California to go to homecoming. But there was one opportunity back in 2014 where I was able to do that. And it's fun. It's fun to go back. It's fun to be around your college friends, fun to be around your fraternity brothers if you were in a fraternity, or your sorority sisters if you were in a sorority back during your college days. College days swiftly pass. But the relationships do not. So it's always fun to go back and experience that atmosphere once again. So if you're excited about homecoming, I want to know what you're most excited about for this weekend. Is it the fact that Arizona, if they win, will be bowl eligible for the second time in 3 years? That is definitely something to be excited about. I was running the numbers. I've been saying for a while I was going to run the numbers. I hadn't done it because, we've talked a lot about, this program and what it is and what it could be and what it's been and what we expect of Arizona football and all of that. And I finally got around to running the numbers. So I'm going to give you at least the numbers from as long as I've been here. This is season number 18 for me covering Arizona football. My first season covering the program was 2008. That was the first year back. So I've seen every bowl game in this century that the Arizona Wildcats have been in, because they had not been to a bowl game in this century before I got here in 2008. And it's interesting just looking back at that today. And that was the beginning of a really good run. Arizona went to 7 bowl games in 8 years. Best bowl run in this program's history. 7 and 8. So I've seen all 9. Wildcats are, I believe, 5-4 in the 9 games and the 9 bowl games in this century. They're playing a Kansas team. It's very similar, both land-grant schools, both traditionally basketball programs. Kansas obviously has won maybe a few more national championships than Arizona, but both teams that are always there generally on the second weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Do you want to know how good Kansas has always been? Kansas has twice as many NCAA tournament wins as Arizona.
In basketball.
Twice as many, DK. And Arizona's number 2 in the conference. Arizona has the second most NCAA tournament wins all time. Their first coach was the guy who invented basketball. So yeah.
A guy by the name of Naismith, right?
Yes, indeed.
He was pretty good. They are investing in football in Lawrence. You should. I post. Head on over to my Twitter page at David Kelly 1290. I posted. I don't know if you like flying on a drone, you might get dizzy. I don't know how they did this. We got to get Daniel Burke on the show. Daniel Burke is the lead sports information person for Kansas football. He spent a number of years here in Tucson, wrote for the Daily Star. I'm not sure if Daniel is a U of A grad. I believe that he is not, though. I believe he came here. He wrote for the Daily Star. Then he worked inside the department. He was lead SID on women's basketball during the beginning of the Adia era, maybe the end of the Nia Butts era. Maybe there's some crossover there. Then he moved up and covered a few of the other sports before he got out of Tucson and headed to Kansas. And now I think he's the lead football guy there. I remember seeing him at the Big 12 Media Days last year. But I got to ask Daniel how they did that drone. They literally flew this drone through the facility and recorded the whole thing. I'm thinking, how can you? I was surprised. Like, it started outside, and I get, they flew, they come down. I guess, like, I've never been to Lawrence. I've never been to the University of Kansas, so I don't know how the layout. But it looks like there's like a big, like, kind of hill type monument that sits not too far outside the stadium. So you're coming down this like big grassy knoll. So this drone is coming down the grassy knoll. It flies over the new. They've debuted a new stadium this year. If you were not aware. They remodeled David Booth Memorial Stadium. And so the drone comes over the stadium. It's flying like through different parts of the stadium. Then it goes back up out of the stadium and it comes around. And then it literally goes right through this door and into the inside of the facility. And I'm thinking to myself, are they going to, as it's coming down through and approaching the door, I'm like, is it going to make it through that door? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I wonder how many did they get it right on the first time? Did it like crash at any point when they were trying to? It wasn't like they opened up all the doors or it was this big. It was literally just like one of those one open like doors like you would go through at McHale Center. Just the one door was open. And they flew this drone right through the door and into the inside of the facility. I was pretty impressed watching it.
About 10 years ago, they started something called the Drone Racing League.
Oh, God.
Are you familiar?
No,
and you'll catch it on
not familiar.
You'll catch it on cable television on occasion, DK, but it's people with goggles seeing from the perspective of the drones, and you cannot imagine the precision that people are capable of flying drones with these days.
Drone Racing League.
The Drone Racing League, yeah.
So, then the drone goes inside the facility, and look, it's the Taj Mahal. Now, they're not finished with it. They did the one side. They still have to do the other side, which is going to be done this year. We're going to talk to Brian. We're going to talk to Brian Haney today. Brian is the play-by-play guy for the Kansas Jayhawks, so we'll talk to him. I'm anxious to kind of ask him just about this stadium. A $300 million donation. What? There aren't too many donations anywhere in college athletics that would rival that by one person. Like, where I joked about a month ago when Stanford laid out their $500 million donation that they got, and Kansas got a $300 million donation for their football stadium. And like, where is our $300 million guy? Like, where is he? Like, can we find him? Is he what? Some people believe that's Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels. He's about as loaded, I think, as any former student at this university. But apparently, he wants nothing to do with us, which is kind of sad. But $300 million, and this place, oh man, They've got rock chalk. It's like the upper deck. It's like the seats. They painted the seats to spell out rock chalk in the upper deck. It's got, view boxes and suites on the lower level, open. I'm not talking about enclosed suites. I mean like open air suites that kind of wrap around the one end that's completed. I would imagine they're probably going to do some more to where it wraps completely around the stadium. This new David Booth Memorial Stadium in Lawrence is something to see. This is what you're competing with now. This is what you're competing with. All right, this is a basketball school on your level. If you're the University of Arizona, on your level, and I know, and I'm anxious. We'll talk to Brent tomorrow. I'm going to ask him. We'll talk to him tomorrow. I'm going to ask him about it because he went back. You remember he went back for that game last year, the basketball game at Fog Allen. And so I want to find out if he went or they gave him a tour of the stadium and what he thought and if he believes that that's possible or something like that could be possible here in Tucson. Because we've been very good at building exterior facilities here. You know, Richard Jefferson Gymnasium, Jeannie Clements Academic Center, Davis Center, the Davis, Jeannie and Cole Davis Center. Jeannie and Cole obviously have done the floor, the Terraflex floor for volleyball. We've been very good. We built the north end zone, a part of the stadium. We've been very good at adding the ancillary facilities, New Hillenbrand softball stadium. But at some point, and I don't know when that is, Arizona Stadium has got to be addressed. Arizona Stadium's got to be addressed. I've said it before. McHale Center has to be addressed. Whether you're going to stay at McHale Center or whether you're going to build something else somewhere else, that's got to be addressed. And that time is coming. That time is going to have to come, and it's going to have to come soon. We'll dive more into this. DK on the sports tip. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. The app is so simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could win big. Prize Picks is also available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Most importantly, they do not play about your money. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. And now Prize Picks offers stacks, where you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
At Lowe's, this Veterans Day and every day, verified military members, veterans, and their spouses get automatic silver status in My Lowe's Rewards with free standard shipping, plus 10% off eligible purchases with no annual limit. It's one way we honor and give back to those who have served and still do. Learn more now at lowes.com/military. 10% discount can't be combined with another offer. Exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported at Valencia and Oak Tree Drive in Valencia, Ina and Shannon and Ina. Broadway and Alvernon, also crash in Oro Valley, Lambert Lane, and La Cañada. 57, the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's honors verified military members, veterans, and their spouses this Veterans Day and every day with 10% off eligible purchases with no annual limit. Thank you for your bravery and service. Verify today at Lowes.com/military. 10% discount can't be combined with another offer. Exclusion terms and conditions apply.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It is volleyball night in Arizona. Your Wildcats are back on the floor. We'll dive into that. It'll be match 2 of a 3-match homestand. And the BYU Cougars will be into McHale Center tonight. 6 o'clock will be first serve. Coming off a huge upset of number 13 TCU over the weekend. Ladies would like to keep that going. We'll hear a little bit later from head coach Terita Stubbs and new opposite side hitter Renee Jones, who has taken an interesting path to get here to the University of Arizona. Football this Saturday, Wildcats and Kansas Jayhawks for the first time in a long time that these two teams have played on the football field. I mean, you and I were not even born, J-Dub, the last time that these two teams played football.
Not for 10 years, no. I just want to avoid, DK, a repeat of the first game that they ever played together, which was in 1936 on a famous day, a famous speech from Madison Square Garden that day, October 31st, DK. 0-0 tie in Lawrence, Kansas was the final of that first game they played.
A famous speech from Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, New Deal stuff. It's about the, coming out of the Depression.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, 1966, the last time that these two teams got together.
Also, famously, DK, 1936, October 31st was the day that Michael Landon was born.
Ooh.
So
there
that
you go. Lots of good nuggets from Arizona.
I had to look it up. I'm like, man, that's a long time ago.
That I was not aware of.
Like, the question you asked was, were we alive? Clearly, 1966 is your reference in the first segment of the last time that these two programs have played each other. The first time ever, 1936. They played, 6 times total, but not since the 60s. It's funny, you think how long's the schedule, or they've increased it to 14 games-ish now, and now you got the playoffs and infinitely more bowl games than they used to have. But back in those days, it was like a 10-game, 11-game season, right? So hard to sneak in a game against a team that's not regional back when, air flight wasn't a big thing and you had to bus everywhere.
Did you know that the Kansas Jayhawks have lost 17 games in a row to their rival,
crazy
Kansas State?
Yeah,
17.
Crazy.
Can you imagine? Can you just imagine if the Wildcats lost 17 straight games to ASU? I mean, people would just be like, they might burn this town down if that ever happened.
Yeah, I think it's tough to even rivalry, DK, to me means some level of competitive balance between the two programs. So when you get to a point where it's so lopsided like that. Like Arizona Wildcats basketball never had a rivalry with Oregon State when they had, or was it Washington State? They had like a 28-game winning streak against.
Yeah, Stanford too. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have a huge streak like that, but clearly, and the other part about that is Kansas's big rival is Missouri. Right? I mean, if you ask
I would know that.
If you ask Kansas fans, they would say Missouri.
Right.
And obviously, the Wildcats is their in-state rival, but 17 in a row, DK. I mean, that's a lot. That's 5.
Yeah, that's
7 classes.
Yeah, 7 college classes. Yeah, that have never beaten the Wildcats.
Well, I'll be rooting for the Jayhawks next year.
Because they got to get one sooner or later, right?
They lost their chance this year.
Holy mackerel.
Hopefully next year.
Holy mackerel. Yeah.
It's like everybody has to root for Nebraska ball, the only Power 5, Power 4 school to not ever win an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
How could you not root for Nebraska to win one game in the NCAA tournament? Got to root for the Jayhawks next time they play the Wildcats.
Well, they got their butts kicked this year. In fact, talk about 2 teams that both needed a win. Kansas had lost 2 in a row, as had the Wildcats going into last weekend. But it had been really rough for the Jayhawks as they'd lost consecutive 42-17 games to both their rivals and to Texas Tech. Obviously, Tech being the best team in the conference right now. And the Wildcats, on the flip side, had lost 2 in a row, but in very close fashion, a double overtime loss and a loss by 3 points on a walk-off field goal. We didn't play this last week. I'm gonna pull this up right now here, J-Dub. We didn't play this last week, but I wanted to just discuss this. It was something that Seth Daggy said that we had heard once before earlier this season. Let's see if I can find that real quick here.
While you're finding that, real quick on Kansas's stadium, DK.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's the 8th oldest stadium in the country.
Yeah, it was built like almost 100 years ago.
Yeah, it was built to honor World War I veterans. DK, that's how old Kansas's football stadium is. So glad that those fans get the newest stadium in the Big 12 because they had the oldest stadium in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just insane. Insane for sure. I cannot find this cut. I'll have to go back and look for this one cut that Seth Daggy had that basically what he said, I'll just kind of paraphrase what he said was they feel like at the Davis Center, in the center, they feel like they're literally 2 plays away from being 7-1 because of the fact that the losses to Houston and BYU were so close, which is very similar to what we were talking about when the Cardinals were going through their malaise there, the first part of their malaise when they lost the three games by walk-off field goals. How, they were at that point, I think they were 2-4. They could have easily been 5-1 at that point, or a few plays away from being 5-1 versus being 2-4. So it was almost the same type of conversation. But that's just right now. That's the mentality that they're thinking of along those lines inside that facility. The Wildcats are 5-3. They're 2-3, so they're still on the bottom half of the conference in terms of the overall picture. But they feel like we're really 2 plays away from being one of those teams in the top 4. And it goes back to what we've been maybe talking about the last couple of weeks about the parity in this conference. Like, you really don't know. I mean, I looked at it again today. I think you've got you still got the 3 teams down at the bottom with 5 losses. You got a couple teams one team now that's only undefeated, BYU, and you got a couple teams with 1 loss. So there's the 7 on the top and the bottom, and the 9 teams that are in the middle between 4-2 and 2-4. And any of those teams could beat any of those other teams on any given day, realistically. And that's what you've got this weekend with these 2 teams, Kansas and Arizona, on Saturday. 2 teams that are probably pretty even with extremely good quarterbacks. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jalen Daniels. Heard about this kid last year. We obviously did not play them last year, so didn't get a chance to see him up front. But he's as good a quarterback, especially, I think he's 20 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions this year. 2 dudes out there, and Jalen Daniels and Noah Fafita, who are extremely good at taking care of the football.
Yeah, and he's 48, right?
Jalen, he's been there a while. He has been there a while. That's for sure. He's an old dude.
Yeah, he's got about
an
as
old
much
dude.
experience as anybody. Obviously, first few years cut short from injury issues.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing better to me, DK, than two quality all-conference level quarterbacks going at it when you've got competent wide receivers out there and some speed to make it happen, because it just makes for the most exciting games.
Could be the over. Could be the over this weekend.
Could be.
We'll see. All right. Speaking of our BetMGM Network top plays, we'll have that for you coming up. Next, we'll find out how we did last night with the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. Plus, we've got already a play on the Cardinals. Speaking of the Cardinals, a play on the Cardinals for this weekend. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than four walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rocking K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. The app is so simple to use. Just pick two or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you can win big. Prize Picks is also available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Most importantly, they do not play about your money. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. And now Prize Picks offers stacks where you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're standing inside a secret prison. It houses the Nazi high command.
I'm gonna put Hermann Goering on trial.
Sony Pictures Classics presents Nuremberg, starring Academy Award winner Russell Crowe, Academy Award winner Rami Malek, and Academy Award nominee Michael Shannon.
Do you plead guilty or not guilty? Nichts schuldig.
Order!
Nuremberg opens only in theaters everywhere November 7th.
O'Reilly.
Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select pairs of wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people can help you find the right wiper blades for your vehicle, and we'll install them for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you can rely on, and fast, dependable delivery means your orders arrive on time and in good condition. Plus, if you ever need advice, their technical product specialists are ready to help you find answers. And because they know safety is non-negotiable, they're proud to be your trusted partner in protecting your people and your workplace. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Well, we knew from yesterday after the Arizona Cardinals beat the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night that Jacoby Brissett was going to start this Sunday in Seattle, but we have just gotten some more interesting news from the Bird Gang. That's right. Breaking news. We got to get it more. I don't like that breaking news sounder. I'm going to have to replace that one.
I'm on it.
We got to work on that one there. That sounds more like, yo, we got some breaking news versus.
Well, I
we
think
got
some
breaking
people
news.
might feel that way about this breaking news, DK.
Yeah,
they're not super disappointed.
A
Maybe.
little too chill for me. All right, the Arizona Cardinals have placed quarterback Kyler Murray on injured reserve due to that mild foot sprain that he suffered in Week 5. Sidelining him, so going on IR means he's going to be out for at least 4 games to prioritize his rehabilitation. Head coach Jonathan Gannon named Jacoby Brissett the starter for Sunday's game yesterday, so there was thought that maybe something more definitive might be coming with Kyler Murray. The offense has averaged 26 points in recent games under Jacoby Brissett. Look, they're still 3-5, and I mentioned yesterday they've got, 4 of their next 5 games are against teams with 6 or more wins, so they've got a gauntlet facing them. Our guy Cameron Cox from up in Phoenix tweeted out practice video from last week of Kyler, who obviously, there was some thought that maybe he might be on his way back, and Cameron Cox tweeted out, this was Kyler Murray last week on Tuesday, looked every bit like a player getting ready to start. I'm not sure how in the world we got to this news today because, and it's clearly either something happened. I mean, there's people out there speculating that there's more to this than just the injury. I mean, I'm not going to go down that road. If the guy can't play, the guy can't play. But it's an interesting time right now if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan with everything happening with Kyler Murray.
I'll tell you what the problem is with Kyler Murray, DK. His health bucket is not full enough. That's his problem.
That's true. Yeah, well, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah, Coach Gannon loves his 5-bucket philosophy. And one of those, in fact, he said it yesterday. They asked him about how Kyler was doing, and he said he's working on his health bucket. So clearly didn't fill it up quite enough. 4 weeks, you said, right?
4 games.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there's going to be speculation when you talk about a much maligned quarterback who is promising, but can't get you over the hump. And then you've got Brissett, who comes in and he's a 9-year veteran who gets you a win after you've lost a lot of games in a row. That conversation is obviously going to be happening behind the scenes. I just hope it's nothing serious for Kyler Murray because clearly athleticism is a big part of his game.
So Jacoby Brissett will have the ball when the Cardinals go back out onto the road again this weekend up in Seattle. And let's find out. The folks at BetMGM Network already have some thoughts on that one.
I'm PJ Glasser, host of Send It In, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM network. I'm taking the Cardinals plus 6.5 against the Seahawks this Sunday. Arizona is 3-5 on the season, but all 5 of their losses have been by 4 or fewer points. Jacoby Brissett will also start again this week for the Cardinals, and he has been terrific, filling in for Kyler Murray. 6.5 is too many points. Give me Arizona to cover the number. I'm PJ Glasser, host of Send It In on the BetMGM network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so PJ Glosser likes the Birds on the road in Seattle. That is, Seattle's just not an easy place to go and win. And I still remember, I think the game, I don't know what year it was when they went up there and they got beat 51-0 or something. And that was a pretty decent Cardinals team that went up there and got their heads handed to them. But of course, that was also back when Seattle was doing their thing. But all right. I don't know if I feel real comfortable with that number there, but that's what the folks. I'll decide later in the week if we still have some time to decide whether or not we're going to take that bet right there from BetMGM Network. Last night, last night we got the Magic and the Hawks, and here's how that went down.
Behind the back, lost the handle. Good defense. Daniels will slow things up. Ricochet open, yes! 61-47. No, yes!
No. Zachary Research. Have you heard? I've not heard of him. You've heard of him?
He was the number 1 pick.
Was
he? Yeah. He was the number 1 pick.
This past year?
The year after Wemby. So,
okay.
last year.
So last year. Oh, he was number 1 overall pick.
Number 1 overall pick.
Wow.
Yeah, out of France.
All right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So young guy, I think it was 17 or 18 when he was drafted. So really young guy, super high ceiling. It was not the biggest. After the Wemby draft, that draft was not super high. They didn't have a consensus on the number 1 guy. So Atlanta went with Zachary Richard.
That was the year they had three of the first 4 picks were French guys.
Exactly.
I think last year. Okay, so Zachary had 21 points last night. No Trae Young, no problem. The Hawks blow out the Magic, 127-112. We had the Magic minus 3.5, so we lose again. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported at Ina and Shannon and Ina, Valencia and Oak Tree Drive in Valencia, in Oro Valley, Oracle and La Reserve Drive. 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and sunny and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Air, they'll help with any of your air conditioning needs, always keeping you cool. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected air conditioning experts at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com. coolwillies.com.
Hello, everybody. Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit biglou.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands millions of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than four walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Tune into Wildcats Radio 1290 weekly for Brett Brennan's Football Press Conference, where you can catch up on all things Arizona football this season. The Football Press Conference, sponsored by Coors Light. DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. That is our phone number. That is the number you can use to get in on the conversation. A lot in this first hour of the show. We just talked about the news that Kyler Murray is going on IR, which means he'll be out for at least another 4 games. It's Jacoby Brissett's football team moving forward through this most difficult part of the schedule. And we'll see where he can take this club. You got to go to Seattle. That's not going to be easy. You've got Tampa Bay. They're on the horizon as well. Got to play the Rams. They're really good. So these are not easy games. I think there's really only one game coming up on the horizon that you could call, that you might even consider that this team will be favored in here in the foreseeable future, and that is the home game on November the 23rd against Jacksonville. Seattle, San Francisco, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Los Angeles. Those are the next 5 games, and 4 of those 5 teams are really good.
More importantly than all that, would you like to listen to one of the 4 new breaking news sounders that we have available to us?
Oh, man, you're quick, J-Dog.
Well, all you do is say, I don't like that, and I'll find you something else.
Okay.
Okay, here's the first one.
All right. I like that maybe as a music bed. I don't know if
there's
I like
your first one. Here's your second one.
News.
Yeah, a lot of these are electronic, obviously, which is a music style that you like.
I like. I'm an electronic.
We've
guy.
got this is actually called breaking news theme.
All right.
Yeah,
I like that one.
That's
better
a late
than
night national breaking news.
I like that one
right
better
there.
than the one we've got.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That might be the top one.
And then we got this one. Traditional.
Yeah. Now I like the third one is my favorite so far.
All right, good deal. I'll mix it up and get it in the
that
system.
one. Yeah, we'll do that one for now, for sure. All right. We were at top of the show. We were talking about just this battle between Arizona and Kansas. Two basketball schools playing football this weekend for the first time since 1966. And I mentioned that they are in the process. They have just completed phase one of their football stadium renovation in Kansas. And I mentioned that the time is coming for Arizona. And I mentioned that because there are obviously plans, and it was announced maybe if you didn't see it or missed it, it was about a little over maybe a month and a half ago. The athletic department got approval from the Board of Regents for some improvements to both McHale Center and Arizona Stadium. But let's be clear, these are renovations, improvements, not a full-scale structural rebuild or anything of that nature, creating basically a brand new facility like they're doing or in the process of doing in Kansas. They got the first side done prior to the start of this season, and as soon as the season is over, I believe they're going to be moving forward on phase two of their plan. And again, we're going to talk to Brian Haney, the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks, coming up here in the 4 o'clock hour, so we'll ask him a little bit about that. But the Regents back in late September here in Arizona did approve $50 million in improvements to both McHale Center and Arizona Stadium. So that is, going to happen. There are going to be some things that will be done, and the administration and Desiree Reed-Francois have talked about some of this stuff. They've talked quite a bit about the sound system at Arizona Stadium has got to be improved. That was probably going to be one of the number one things. There'll be some other things in terms of restrooms. Obviously, the stadium still has a lot of older style restrooms, so they'll be improving that. Seating, I'll be interested to see again. You can improve a stadium greatly just based upon the seating. There's still pretty much that entire west side of Arizona Stadium that does not have any seat backs.
They could bear down on the seats like Rock Shop.
Yeah, exactly. You got to see it. You got to see it. Again, head on over to my Twitter page at David Kelly 1290 and watch the drone video. Hold on tight, buckle up when you get on that drone, because that thing goes flying pretty quickly all around. I mean, it was like I thought maybe the inside would be a little slower, but they were actually just kind of cruising through that facility, going real fast. I'm like, Jesus, yeah, this thing is moving through here. It's a good thing nobody's walking around, might get hit by this drone. But yeah, it looks really, really good. It looks really, really good. I think that's, in terms of the actual interior of the stadium, seat backs is the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. You want to talk about people being there, being comfortable. A seat back is the first way to do that, and they did that. Obviously, I think it's crazy to me. It's been 11 years since they debuted the renovations to McHale Center. It seems like it was just like yesterday, but it was 11 years ago because Nia Butts was still here last time they.
When did they build?
That was before
Bear Down Kitchen and all that. The extension to the football
Bear
stadium.
Down. That was done. That was done before the renovations to McHale. So that's probably at least maybe a year or two more older than that. I want to say that debuted. Oh gosh, it debuted during. It wasn't. Stoops was not here, but I believe it was. No, I know it was during the Rich Rod era.
Says here 2013.
Yeah, it was during the Rich Rod era. I know that. So yeah, that was 13, and I think they finally. I think 15, 16 might have been the first, or 14, 15 might have been the first year of the McHale renovations, when they basically went in and they redid all the locker rooms for both men's basketball and women's basketball, and that lower level structure. And then there was supposed to be a second phase, which again, they never really got to that. They never really got to the second phase of McHale Center. And but we'll see if what they do in terms of that on that side of this $50 million project, in terms of what's going to be new inside of McHale Center. Apparently there's some new donor thing that they're doing this year. I thought I saw it on one of the broadcasts for the high level donors, kind of an underneath type situation where they have a little area there where they can partake in each other and that
Eat
kind
their
of thing.
caviar and champagne and such, yeah.
Kind of one of those underground, behind the scenes like things. They have at a lot of the stadiums and arenas now where you can watch the team run out and
Well, you don't want your VIPs to have to mingle with the commoners. Come on.
Not exact. Hey, apparently there were some people on our staff that were mingling in Las Vegas this past trip down for the game against Florida. So they were talking about eating steaks and stuff in the promotions meeting today. So good for them. Good for them. They got to go to Las Vegas and hang out with the rich and famous.
What about the lights situation?
The lights
in McHale.
Yeah. You think that's an issue?
Oh, it was an issue. They talked about not having the budget for it last year, and I haven't heard any recent information about that. But I know that was on their priority.
What does it says? Lighting. It says lighting, seating, sound, restrooms, and game day operations. So all of that will be a part of this this project, which is scheduled to be done I think it's scheduled to be done by the end of this year. So for next year, which will be kind of cool.
I know Arizona Stadium's late 20s, like 28, 29 is when that opened. McHale was what, like 76?
I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was like 73, 74.
Yeah, early 70s, mid 70s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not that old. It's tough, man. That's like it's like a church. It's like a museum.
Right.
It's that kind of thing. So there's that balance where you'll always have part of the fan base or why isn't our facilities built this year? And then the people, how dare you think of like Allen Fieldhouse, places like that, like there'd be a huge uproar from the fan base if you even suggested getting rid of it.
The proposal that University of Arizona submitted to the Board of Regents that, again, was approved in late September, they indicated in that proposal that these renovations will last for close to 30 years. So, hey, again, that's the road that Arizona's taking. Some other universities, again, are taking a different road. How is that going to play and meld into how competitive your programs can be moving forward? Because to be quite frank, I don't know that a $300 million donor is walking through that door at the University of Arizona anytime in the near future.
And aesthetics are one thing, right? Like looking up, like the Intuit Dome where Arizona's going to be playing UCLA soon. That's the biggest, best arena in the world. Just opened last year, right? $2 billion, I think, was the price tag on that. But what Desiree talks about and what both the major men's basketball and men's football coach talk about, DK, is fan experience. It really boils down to that. If it's just something as simple as seat backs or lighting or something like that, as long as the goal is to make the fan experience as good as possible, where that takes place, if the building's old or brand new, I don't think matters as much as just how the fans come away from that experience, thinking to themselves like, wow, these bathrooms are outdated, or, this seat wasn't super comfortable, or those kind of experiences. I think if they focus on that type of thing, then that's probably the best way to go outside of the $350 million donation from one person.
Right. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. We still have not. It's like Wednesday, and we still have not talked about. Yesterday was our first show. We still have not gotten into the World Series and my thoughts on that. We'll hopefully get into that here, maybe coming up in the 4 o'clock and or the 5 o'clock hour, and get you some thoughts get your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the World Series as well, since we have not had a chance to hear from you on that at 520-848-1290.
Never ends, DK. The baseball season is 24/7.
Yeah.
365, right? So as soon as the World Series is over, you're talking about off-season moves and who signed with who, and it just never ends. So I don't think we don't have to wait. We don't have to be worried about waiting a few days. We didn't have a show Monday, but yeah, I mean, lots to talk about with that game.
DK on the Sports Tip again is the show. 520-848-1290. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, cricket will be here. I've been told she's going to tell you about something cool. I don't know exactly what that is, but she's got something cool that she's going to tell you about. I mentioned we've got Arizona volleyball tonight at McHale Center at 6 o'clock against BYU. Top of the hour, we'll let you hear from Charita Stubbs and Renee Jones. Renee Jones has been dealing with some injuries, but she is back on the floor and has added a different level to the Arizona Wildcat attack and defense. So you'll hear from Renee Jones, who is a twin, and her twin also plays college volleyball. That's straight ahead for you as well. We'll talk some Arizona-Kansas football. Brian Haney, the voice of the Jayhawks, will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. DK on the Sports Tip, you are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported at Ina and Shannon and Ina, Valencia and Oak Tree Drive in Valencia, in Oro Valley, Oracle, and La Reserve Drive. 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and sunny and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks.
Handcrafted with their signature espresso
and real pumpkin sauce.
Ooh. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon,
and nutmeg.
PSL. Get it while it's hot.
Or iced, only at Starbucks.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be located in Arizona.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Yes, it's November already. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. So if you've been waiting to do vehicle maintenance, repair, or even a new set of tires, there's great news. November is the biggest rebate time of the year. If you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through crazy road construction, Jack Furrier's has got you covered. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local's choice for savings, great service, and 14 award-winning locations. This month, you'll save big on all Michelin brand tires. Get back $160 to $220 on the tires Consumer Reporting magazines rank the very best. Like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2 for cars and CUVs, or the durable Defender LTX for SUVs and trucks. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has them all, and they're all on sale with big rebates all month long. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and even more specials where you can make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com. And get ready for the workday.
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
What do the Wildcats need to do to win today?
I got two keys, the same thing. Two keys. This is probably going to fit the same door.
Run the ball,
stop the run. That's exactly.
I've been with you too long to not know what that was.
Come on. If you look at this team and what we've been doing, in order for us to win, we have to run the ball and we have to stop the run.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tucson sun beating down feels like an oven in your car, right? With our premium window tint, you'll stay cool, comfortable, and protected.
Finally,
No more burning seats and squinting eyes. Driving feels amazing again.
It's not just tint. It's comfort, style, and relief from Arizona heat. Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson, where cool rides start.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show on this Wednesday, Hump Day. Hope it's a great day for you. We'll have a partial show tomorrow, almost a full show, 2.5 hours, heading into Thursday Night Football. Then Friday's game day, Arizona basketball's home opener against Utah Tech. We'll be on the air at 3:30, maybe 3 with some auxiliary programming before we get into the actual pregame show at 3:30. And then Saturday morning at 9 from the Arizona Football Alumni Tailgate. Looking forward to that for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We'll have all the excitement. It'll basically be like player after player after player after player. I'm just going to get in and do the sponsored stuff, which will be real short. DK with BB might be like one question or maybe 2. And then we'll let the players talk about their time. As Glenn Howe said yesterday, let them tell all their lies from their college days, which it's going to be tougher for the kids 20 years ago to tell those lies because everything's on video now.
Right. 8-yard catch from 40 years ago is an 80-yard catch suddenly, but you can't do that when smartphones existed.
No, not at all. All right, the big breaking news today. Let's go with the new sounder, J-Dub. Yeah. The big breaking news coming out of, it's Tempe, actually, because that's where they practice. The Arizona Cardinals have placed quarterback Kyler Murray on injured reserve, which means he's going to miss 4 more games. It's not retroactive, and I don't even know.
It's not like time served,
I don't know if you can do that in NFL. You can do that in baseball. Like if a guy's missed 5 games, you can retroactive him. Say that 10 times fast on the IL to include the 5 games he's already missed. But I don't think you can do that in football. Let's hear from the head coach, Jonathan Gannon, on the situation involving Kyler Murray.
Today, Kyler's going to go on IR. Feel like that's the best thing for him and for us. He's not fully healthy, ready to go yet, so that makes the most sense. Obviously, that's a change, but we just felt, looking at it right now, that's the best thing for him and us, like I just said. He's fully committed. Right now, what he's going to concentrate on is getting healthy. He's not healthy enough to play. He needs to get healthy so he can get back to playing football. So that's what we're doing.
There you go. That's the head coach of your Arizona Cardinals on the situation involving Kyler Murray. Jacoby Brissett will get another start coming up this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. And again, that game will be on the road up in the Pacific Northwest. 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on that, what do you think? Do you think this is the beginning of the end of Kyler Murray's time in Arizona? A lot of people have said that they feel like this offense looks different with Jacoby Brissett. But again, I'll stick by what I said yesterday. I mean, I've said it for 2 weeks now. Jacoby Brissett is a good NFL veteran. He can win you games, but I'm not going to look at this offense and say, okay, Jacoby Brissett is the guy that I want to hang my head on to lead this team back to the playoffs. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what he is.
I'm trying to think of the list of career backups who've played 8-10 years, DK, who suddenly become starters.
Yeah. There's been a few. There's absolutely been a few of those over the course of time that have spent a lot of time. I mean, again, he's been how many places? I mean, Jacoby, I guess got to look. How many places has he been? I know he was in Cleveland, at one point. He was my backup quarterback at one point. This guy's been around. Colts, among those teams, came out of the University of Florida. Patriots, Colts, Dolphins, Browns, Commanders, back to the Patriots last year, and Cardinals. So that is 6 teams. 6 teams he has played with in his NFL career. And again, there's a reason for that, because he's a very solid backup quarterback. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number. It looks like we are going to chat with Paul in Phoenix. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
David, hey, how you doing today? Just real quick, I will preface it by saying I've always been a Kyler Murray fan.
Okay.
But I've been telling my buddies up here, saying, guys, it's going to happen. And isn't it interesting? Well, this whole injury reserve thing, but it's interesting that the day after the trade deadline, they put him on injury reserve. Okay. Right. I don't know anything other than to say, as a fan, I'm thinking, I truly think they tried to move him. I really do. I think they tried to move him to either Minnesota or New Orleans. And Minnesota probably not, just because their quarterback seems healthy, but that could be temporary. But New Orleans would have been logical, or even the Jets. But whatever happened, it didn't, obviously. And now they shut him down for about 4 or 5 weeks, bring him back at around week 15, 16, something like that. And then at that point say, oh, we're either in the playoffs or we're not. And if we're in the playoff talk, I shouldn't say in the playoffs, but in the discussion, they're not going to switch back to him because they got there because of Jacoby. So we may have seen Kyler's last game in Arizona, in Phoenix, a few weeks back. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but he never played the role of leader on the team.
Well, and that's the big thing. Yeah.
You're right. But David, I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when watching at the games, and whether it's whether the camera's on them or not, but I never see, if I'm a backup quarterback, or if I'm injured and I'm the I'm the quarterback who should be the leader, and I'm not playing, I would be standing next to the offensive coordinator and helping out and just being there, just to kind of get an earful of what's going on, what's being called, what's being discussed. I never saw Kyler do that. Now, if people say, "Oh no, he was always there," talking, I never saw it.
Yeah.
So that to me, kind of like, okay, Kyler, what's going on? Are you that disconnected, or is it just, I don't know? Is there just some sour grapes right now? It's hard to say. It's unfortunate because the kid's talented, but I don't know. It's really hard to say. It's unfortunate. It really is. But it's I was listening to the different talk shows around the country, and they're saying that the 2026 quarterback class is not as impressive as I think people thought it was going to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, especially with, and again, you use the one name Arch Manning, right? He probably is going to come back to school. Okay, especially because NIL is probably going to give him anywhere from $3 to $5 million just to come back to school. So why would he go into the NFL? And then after that, it drops off significantly. So 27 is probably the year. So if teams can hold out, and if Jacoby's a bridge to get us over the hump for the next 2 years, right, this year and next year, maybe that's what they do. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but as a fan and a season ticket holder, it's frustrating to say the least. But I have not given up on this season yet. Let's see what we do against Seattle, because if we show up against Seattle, keep it close, give ourselves a chance to win. You never know. If we could somehow figure out, I don't know how we beat Seattle, but if we can figure out a way to beat Seattle, that San Francisco game the following weekend is going to be, that place should be buzzing. It should be buzzing. It'd be a fun game to be at. So, but anyway, so I just had to call in, chime in real quick, and that's it. Just bear down and let's get ready for homecoming.
There we go. I like the sound of that. Bear down and beat Kansas, so we can go to a bowl
There you go.
game.
That's right. Okay, guys. Take care. Thanks again.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it immensely. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Like he said, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's where we are at this point with Kyler Murray. And I think he used the appropriate term there, bridge. I mean, that is what Jacoby Brissett is. He's a bridge to whatever the future is going to be. In the end, look, he can be a pretty good bridge. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying that he's not going to be able to go out there and if you had to play a full season next year with Jacoby Brissett, then you could probably be a 500 or better team. But again, I just don't know that he's the guy that's going to, win you 11 games and have you into 2 weeks into the postseason.
Bridge from who? Kurt Warner? The list of great Cardinals quarterbacks is not long.
Over troubled
it's
water.
not a long list of great Cardinals quarterbacks.
Right. No, it's not. Carson Palmer. Would you put him in the great category?
No, he's up there. Like Neil Lomax, Jake Plummer.
Oh, wait.
Cardinal.
Neil, you're putting Neil Lomax? Yeah.
I'm just, those are the names. You'll see if you look it up. I mean, what I'm saying is there isn't a stone monument out there somewhere, DK, with all the great Cardinals quarterbacks. So it's been a minute. I mean, Kyler Murray was the NFL offensive rookie of the year as a rookie, right? Number one pick. I mean, high expectations. To me, I think the biggest issue for Cardinals fans is just the record. He's something like 34-50 in his starts in the NFL, and so I don't know if you could put it out all on him. But when the team is failing to make playoff runs and not showing signs of gradual success along the way, you always point the quarterback for those mistakes, and especially in a situation like this year, DK, where they lost, again, 5 consecutive games by 14 total points, right? A couple of better throws here, a couple of better reads there, and they win some or all of those games. So he's always going to be the guy they point to. And as you've always said, I mean, I think in the modern NFL, unless you have 4.2 speed, being a shorter quarterback with all the gigantic bodies you have to see over the top of is not always going to be a winning formula. Very rare outside of Kansas City. And, Mahomes is 6'1", 6'2". He's not 6'5", but big enough to see. And I just think it's tough, man. It's tough when you've been a quarterback for 8 years. The most popular player on every football team is the backup. So, yeah, I mean, that's Kyler's. We've had this conversation quite a few times. Will Kyler ever live up to his potential, and will he ever take them to where they need to go, and all this stuff? And here we are, foot injury. Brissett's come in, won him a game, and I think that's all that really matters for now. Is that the Cardinals are on a winning streak. DK, they haven't been on a winning streak in a while, so that's why the talk of Brissett is what it is.
520-848-1290. Want to hear from you if you are a Cardinals fan. How you feeling about all of this right now? How you feeling about Kyler being on IR, Jacoby Brissett being handed the keys to the car for the next 5 games against teams that have won 6 or more games?
Real quick, I did look it up, and Brissett has actually started more than half of his games. He's played 94 games in the NFL and 52 starts. Clearly, like a lot of that was with I think he started all 16 for Cleveland, for instance. I guess what I said earlier about it's just rare that a quarterback who, in general, has come in a backup role and replacing an injured starter gets named the week 1 starter after 8-9 years in the league. You generally get relegated to those backup 2 or 3 quarterback spots pretty early in your career. I would love a story to hear Jacoby Brissett, come out of nowhere and be named the starter and have great individual success and team success and then lead the way. So far, so good.
All right, 520-848-1290. Cardinals big news today. We're joined by the third member of our program. Her name is Cricket. Cricket.
Hola.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good today. Yeah. So it's the busy season, as we like, the silly season. So a couple weeks ago, we had a game. We had a show. We had a game that started at 9 a.m., which means we had a pregame at 4:30.
Oh, yeah, that's
next week. We have a game that starts at 10 a.m., so we have a pregame at 5:30. And that's after we have a nighttime postgame show for basketball that probably won't end until 2 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh. So you guys are just going to stay here?
I'm staying here. J-Dub lives 10 minutes away.
I told DK
he said he's going. Apparently, the couch in Bill Kyle's office.
I got Bill Kyle's office
keys. I forgot to check it out when I was in there today. But apparently, that couch, I'm told, is pretty comfortable. Have you ever laid on it?
No.
Have you ever laid on the couch here in the
promotions room?
Promotions room?
No, typically it's like a rule you don't lay on the radio workplace couch.
Yeah.
You just
where
don't.
the clients sit.
No.
No?
No.
What clients are going back in that room?
I don't even know where that couch came from.
Yeah,
that's
I think
why,
they
that's
picked it
why
off
I
the
wouldn't-
street. I think they just grabbed it off the
So
street.
that's the reason not to lie on that couch, because it probably came off the street.
We don't know where they came from. Bill Kyle's couch,
So
though,
in
that
other
does
words,
look
if
nice.
I'm going to take a nap there early Saturday morning, I should probably bring my own sheet to lay down on it.
Something. Or just like, wasn't it Jose or a coworker that used to sleep in his office, like on the floor?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
It's probably a better bet. It's just
He and
sleeping on the
Dragon
floor.
Ball both sleep
Yeah,
in that
when
office.
Dragon Ball fills in for you, he's carrying on that tradition.
He
Exactly.
stays all day. I
He
don't
stays
even
here.
understand.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like a big, long drive for him
him
to
to go
get
back
here. So
home,
to
yeah.
get here and do 6 a.m. traffic and then come back for 3 p.m., like whenever I filled in for you, I always went home.
Of course.
But Dragon Ball stays here.
Yeah, he's interesting. He's something, all right.
He's interesting.
He's something.
You got some interesting things for the listeners today. What you got?
Well, we have coming up on Friday a sweet deal from Rusty's Family Restaurant and Sports Grill.
all right.
Like, so you'll pay $25, but you'll get $50 to spend. They have got over 45 TVs. They've got wings. They've got burgers. They've got bistro medallions. I mean, what even is that? I don't even know what that is,
That's
but
like
it sounds
those-
amazing.
It's chopped into like a square.
Okay.
Yeah, it's beef chopped into like a square.
That sounds too fancy for me.
For a sports bar.
But I will tell
Definitely.
you that for sure that Rusty's my favorite onion rings in town.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're located Grant Road in Silver Bell, just east of the intersection. And again, that sweet deal, half off from Rusty's on Friday morning at 8:30 at Wildcats Radio, 1290.com.
Have you ever made onion rings? I've never tried to actually make onion rings.
No, I don't trust myself for that. No.
Once or twice.
Now, yeah, J-Dub's the
you need
cook
to
over there.
soak. You need to soak them pretty good in buttermilk to make them that soft kind
Ooh,
of thing. So yeah,
nice.
it's a process. It's not the same as fries.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a process.
All right.
Gotcha.
Cooking. We need to get a sponsor and start a cooking with J-Dub
I
segment.
was going to say he needs a
I
show.
think so, 'cause he's
Anytime.
always like showing his food dishes and all of that. I'll send an email out to the staff.
I
to see
could
if we
cook.
can get-
I could cook literally anything. I can't bake literally anything.
Like
so.
no cake
You
or
can
anything?
cook,
Yeah.
but you can't bake.
Well, there's a science. Baking is a science. Cooking is an art.
Okay.
It's a matter of like whatever you want to put into a stir fry, you can put into a stir fry. But you
And it's
have to
fine.
have the exact amount of baking soda and baking powder
Just-
to make
just
a cake
right.
rise properly.
What is
Yeah.
me putting my bag of rice-a-roni in the microwave?
That's art, pure art.
That's absolute art.
Okay. I don't think there's anything artsy about that. All right, Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the Fox with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Speedway near Alvernon, crash reported there on eastbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Alvernon. Other collisions, Mission and Irvington, Oracle and Cool Drive. Ajo Way east of 6th Avenue and some slowing on Keno Parkway near Ajo due to road work. 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and 87 sunny now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. You want Black Friday prices without the crowds. Lowe's gets it. And $99 is all you need to grab your favorite select pre-lit artificial Christmas tree for the holiday season. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, "Gary, why are you wearing that?"
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaska vacation today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job, So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to support your Arizona Wildcat football team as they continue their season with another home game this Saturday at Arizona Stadium.
This Saturday, the Wildcats take on Kansas. Kickoff is scheduled for 1:30 p.m.
To get your tickets, visit ArizonaWildcats.com or call 621-CATS. For more University of Arizona Wildcat football, including a complete schedule and link to buy tickets online, log on to WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is the battle of the basketball schools for the first time on the football field in 59 years. Saturday, Arizona and Kansas. Both teams with a win can become bowl eligible. Let's talk about the Jayhawks, joined by the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks, Brian Haney. And Brian, very interesting that these two teams have not played in 59 years in football, but they know a whole lot about each other on the basketball court, and having done that in various forms in the regular season and the NCAA tournament. I had said again when Arizona made this decision to go to the Big 12, I thought that Kansas, because of the basketball relationship, could be one of those schools that you could create a rivalry with across a number of different sports. How is that viewed on the Kansas side of the coin?
Yeah, I completely agree. The emergence on the basketball side of Houston as the recent flag carrier of the conference the last couple of years took some of us by a little bit of surprise, because I think we just assumed when Arizona joined the league, it would be Kansas and Arizona duking it out at the top, and then you'd have a second tier. And it still may prove to be that over the next decade or so. But we were psyched when you guys joined the league, just because of the great tradition that, Lute Olson and so many others have brought to that program. I've done games at the McHale Center before and was excited to get more of that action. But to see it now coming on the football side, where both programs have tasted a decent amount of success, and as you said, both are on the doorstep of bowl eligibility should they win on Saturday, that certainly adds to the intrigue too. So I think it could definitely be one of those non-traditional, not necessarily geographic-centric rivalries, just based on programs and athletic departments that have a lot in common and a lot of mutual respect. That would be a great way, I think, to phrase it.
And you talk about two teams that really needed a win last week. The Wildcats coming off a couple of close losses. The Jayhawks coming off a couple of blowout losses. How needed was that performance against Oklahoma State for the Jayhawks?
Well, it came at a good time to face a team toward the bottom tier of the Big 12 because we didn't expect necessarily to pull the upset in Lubbock, but to see the way that game got away from Kansas at Texas Tech and a way to watch the defensive front of Texas Tech kind of have their way with KU's pass blocking and sacking Jalen Daniels 9 times. That was obviously, a low point for us prior to the K-State game. And then the K-State game, for folks that don't know the history, they've now won the in-state rivalry for 17 consecutive years. And we really had that one circled, David, as this is the year we get them. Brand new stadium. KU was favored, 6th-year senior quarterback. We left Lubbock disappointed, but we thought, hey, the peak of our season is going to be next week. And then, as you said, same score, different week, 42-17, KU loses. It was a rainy day, and one offense handled the wet conditions and the slick better than another, and it led to probably an even lower point. No probably about it. That was the lowest, of our season to this point. So to see the way the team got up off the mat, handled Oklahoma State like you would expect them to, with strides gained in all 3 phases of the game, definitely the necessary bounce back that we were all hoping to see. And, it was a convincing win, maybe even larger than the final score would indicate. They gave up a garbage time, touchdown with some reserves on the field. And so it was probably even more impressive than the final margin. Now, it wasn't what, like you guys did to Colorado, but it was definitely a get-right game in a lot of regards. And we needed that after back-to-back 42-17 defeats.
Kansas broadcaster Brian Haney is our guest. I was going to wait a little while before I brought up the Kansas State situation, but since you went there very early on, I'll just follow up, because people would be in a catatonic state here in Tucson if they lost to the Sun Devils 17 consecutive times. How does that play? How does that work? How do Jayhawk fans deal with not having any success in the rivalry in 17 years?
Well, I think the honest answer is, for the first decade of that, we had bigger problems. I mean, Kansas football went from Mark Mangino's peak, when we had won 20 games in a span of 2 years, including a 12-1 season in 2007 that included an Orange Bowl championship. There's a lot of programs in the Big 12 that don't have a BCS, bowl win in their history or on their resume, and Kansas does. Folks forget that because, for a while there, 07-08, this was a program that had ripped off 20 wins in a 2-season stretch, but we bottomed out so far after that with the Turner Gill and Charlie Weiss hires. David Beatty came in after that, and he was inheriting a situation where they were in scholarship purgatory and were really behind the 8 ball and just fielding a competitive roster numbers-wise. And so we didn't think as much about, it's been 10 or 12 straight years losing to K-State, because KU was, sadly, the lowest rung on the Big 12 ladder for most of those years. But then Lance Leipold gets here, and Lance has just about crossed everything else off the checklist in his first 5 seasons other than beating Kansas State. He got KU to back-to-back bowl wins, which is back-to-back bowl appearances, I should say, which had only ever happened once before in school history, those previous Mangino seasons that I spoke to. He got Kansas to win down at Texas, got Kansas to beat a top 10 Oklahoma team. Last season had 3 consecutive top 25 wins. He's had a lot of firsts for KU, but that's the one thing that has eluded us is beating K-State. And so, to answer your question very honestly, it's been much more on our minds the last 4 years or so, because we felt like we're in a better position now to compete with them. The first 8 or 10 wins in that series, we were in no shape to compete with them, and K-State really had it rolling.
Well, Brian, you just keep rolling me down my topic ladder right here, because one of the things that I was going to ask you is, what was different about the Mark Mangino years and how he put that program together that maybe other coaches, like you mentioned, Beatty, Gill, have not been able to come across since then?
Well, he did an amazing job of identifying talent and then coaching them well beyond what their perceived ranking or value was. Aqib Talib, who wound up being a 5-time NFL Pro Bowler and could be in Canton one day, he was a 2-star that Kansas got here. They got a quarterback by the name of Todd Reesing that was a 2-star. He only had one other D1 offer, and you opened by talking about basketball schools. His only other offer was Duke, okay? and they picked Kansas, and he ends up throwing for 11,000 yards and taking Kansas to an Orange Bowl win. So they had a generational talent at quarterback who maybe didn't pass the eyeball test because he was 5'10" with his tippy toes standing, and a lot of schools passed on him because there wasn't that prolific, measurable look to him. But he was outstanding, and then they kind of became DBU for a while. They put Chris Harris in the NFL. He had 4 Pro Bowls. Darryl Stuckey was a Pro Bowl safety and special teamer with the Chargers. So they were producing some big-time talent with guys that maybe flew under the radar, and they had just really did a great job of cultivating and growing up once they got here. And then, it was one of those years where back then you wouldn't know this as a Pac-12 guy and Pac-10 guy before that, but the old Big 12, there used to be a North and a South, and you wanted to be on the North scheduling, not the South scheduling, and you wanted to, on the years when Oklahoma and Texas were on the same lineup card, you didn't want to have to play them on those years. And so things kind of came together from a scheduling standpoint, too, in those peak years that I talked about when KU won 20 games and didn't have to go through the UTs and the OUs of the conference.
Chatting with Brian Haney. He is the play-by-play voice of the Kansas Jayhawks and Wildcats for homecoming Saturday here in Tucson. Brian, let's discuss the game changer, the potential game changer, and that's the new stadium. I did the fly-through this week, the drone fly-through. I think I'm still dizzy from that video. But what have been the immediate dividends of that building?
Well, the immediate dividends is it's the first time in 104 years we've had something new and shiny and nice, and plenty of great memories in the old David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium, but to have something that's state of the art. That right now, for your listeners' sake that may not know, it's 2/3 finished. Though as soon as we play our last game versus Utah this season, the stands on the east side will be demolished literally 48 hours later, and then they'll begin work on Phase 2. Phase 2 will not be completed before next season. They'll play in a temporary, partial capacity stadium next year, but it beats having to go into Kansas City and play all your games off campus, which was the case a year ago. But, it's truly as nice as anything you're going to find in the Big 12 because it is the newest and most state-of-the-art, if anything, in this conference. And so for our Kansas football players, staff, and personnel to feel like they have some of the best facilities and resources to work with, that's just not been the priority here for so long. And on top of that, in this age of revenue share, while we're not spending this season what Texas Tech is, and quite frankly, no one is in this league, KU is very competitive in the dollars that they've allocated to football revenue share. And so we've got an athletic director in Travis Goff, who's a KU grad, Kansas guy. He understands how important it is to have football in addition to basketball. And so you look at what he did here in his first 4 years as AD, $450 million phase 1 to the stadium, plus $52 million of renovations to Allen Fieldhouse for basketball at the same time. Because you can't just put all the eggs in the basket of the other sport. We're still pretty proud of Fog Allen and the Fieldhouse here that you guys had a chance to come in and take in last year. So there's been a lot of good things going on campus-wide. It's certainly ambitious to take this on in this brave new world of NIL and revenue share going on at the same time. That means you're hitting up your donor base for a whole lot, but it had to be done. Like I said, it had been a century between our last stadium build in football. So I love it that we have forward-thinking, visionary ADs and even academic leadership with our Chancellor, Doug Girard. And we've obviously had some generational generosity from the donor base to pull this off as well. I don't think they've put the all-in total out there yet on what it's going to cost once the stadium's fully done, but you'll be impressed when you hear it. And that's the type of statement that Kansas is making to be good every year in football. And that means contending winning in the Big 12, having a chance at the postseason, that kind of thing. There's just never been that kind of priority placed on it. Certainly not in my lifetime, and you'd have to go back to the Don Fambro days or maybe early Glenn Mason years to feel that way.
All right, we've done pretty much everything but talk about the team on the field. This is one that, like I said, if they win on Saturdays, going to a bowl game for the third time in 4 years, fabulous quarterback in Jalen Daniels. Does he know how to run the quarterback power? Because that has been an issue for the Wildcat defense this season.
They could, and we'll see what additional tweaks that Kansas comes up with specific to the opponent. But Jalen is at his best when he's able to run around back there and sling it a little bit. He's got one of the more big-time arms in the conference, but he's also able to beat you with his feet. He's a very dynamic player that they've not used the option pitch as much this year with him. But when he extends the play and gets outside the pocket running around, he can make throws on the run, or he can take off and pick up first downs with his legs. And so we've been blessed to have him for 6 years, and he has not enjoyed great health throughout that, which is why he's still here after 6 years. He had kind of a bad injury rap his first 4 seasons where he never played consistently a full year, and he was averaging about 6 games played per season over his first 4. But last year he put it all together in terms of health. He just had a slow start, shaking off the cobwebs from a season in which he missed 3/4 of the campaign back in 2023, their last bowl season. But anybody would tell you he's one of the most fun players to watch in college football. And prior to the Texas Tech K-State stretch that you talked about earlier, he was number 2 in the nation in passing touchdowns. He was number 4 in the nation in passer efficiency. He was having the season of his life. And so he'd love to get back to that. And he certainly did some nice things last week versus Oklahoma State. But he's the type of guy that in a shootout, should he get into one, if he and Fafita are going back and forth, I mean, he's the type of guy that can hang 400 and 3 or 4 TDs on any given day. And he's got great weapons around him too, including a 5-star Alabama recruit that transferred because he was not getting enough PT down in Tuscaloosa, but he's a track star sprinting speed guy at receiver named Emmanuel Henderson. And you can file this nugget away. When Nick Saban recruited him, he was a running back. He was a top 40 player in America at any position, and he couldn't get on the field because there was a guy by the name of Jahmyr Gibbs in front of him. He's doing pretty good for the Lions now. And so he switched positions to try to get on the field, still really couldn't, but now he's come to Kansas, and he's easily the best deep ball vertical threat Jalen's had in his 6 years here. So that's the combo to look out for coming up on Saturday afternoon.
And real quick on the defensive side of the ball, we've obviously had an infusion of guys from FCS, you guys as well, in talented defensive end Leroy Harris out of Chattanooga.
Yeah, his dad played 7 years in the NFL. So while Leroy was a bit of a diamond in the rough based on the Chattanooga previous stop, his pedigree is one that jumps off the page. And when you see him in person, he looks like an NFL body. So he's gotten a lot of strength and conditioning help since getting here. Obviously, major conference facilities and training table and all that. And he's really blossomed. So very astute by you to point him out as a guy to circle. I think some might say he's our best pro prospect. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye on him. And Kansas is pretty good in the trenches defensively. They've not been as disruptive in terms of sack totals that I thought they might be. But if there's one position on this team that's deeper than any other, it's the defensive line.
All right, Brian. Well, safe travels out here. We will see you Saturday, and have a great call, Arizona and Kansas.
Since you mentioned basketball schools, I'm in Chapel Hill the night before.
Oh, wow.
Okay. UNC, flying at 6 a.m. from the East Coast out to Tucson that day. So if you see me and there's bags under my eyes, that's why. But I'm fired up to get out there. I actually got to do the Snoop Dogg Bowl last year, so I've already done games in that stadium, and can't wait to see you guys in person.
Nice. Brian Haney, the broadcaster, play-by-play man for the Kansas Jayhawks. Brian, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cricket getting you home now every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported at Silver Lake and Park Avenue and Silver Lake, Midtown Speedway Boulevard near Alvernon. That collision is impacting eastbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Alvernon. Also collision at Irvington and Mission and Irvington. And 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and 87 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Air, they'll help with any of your air conditioning needs, always keeping you cool. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected air conditioning experts at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com. coolwillies.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Yes, it's November already. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. So if you've been waiting to do vehicle maintenance, repair, or even a new set of tires, there's great news. November is the biggest rebate time of the year. If you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through crazy road construction, Jack Furrier's has got you covered. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local's choice for savings, great service, and 14 award-winning locations. This month, you'll save big on all Michelin brand tires. Get back $160 to $220 on the tires Consumer Reporting magazines rank the very best. Like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2 for cars and CUVs, or the durable Defender LTX for SUVs and trucks. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has them all, and they're all on sale with big rebates all month long. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and even more specials where you can make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
Homecoming is right around the corner, and the Kansas Jayhawks are in town for a 1:30 kickoff, Arizona Stadium, Saturday, November 8th on Military Appreciation Day. Come celebrate homecoming on campus all day alongside 50,000 of your closest friends. It all starts with the electric tailgate scene starting at 7:30 in the morning, then on to the high-flying action on the field. Get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287 or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price. Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% financing and no payments for 18 months. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. 10-year parts and labor warranty. Plus a free system upgrade.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
I'm Bill Ryder with a Sports Minute. I don't think the Indianapolis Colts' decision to trade 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner is going to be successful. And I know their pass defense has been atrocious, and Gardner is the elite defensive back in football. I still think it's an overreach and overspent, and I still love it. Sometimes fortune does favor the bold, and sometimes it's nice to see teams say, to hell with it, we're going to take our shot. Good luck, Colts. I'm Bill Ryder.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We were just talking with Brian Haney, the voice of the Kansas Jayhawks, about the new football stadium. Well, it's not a new stadium. They basically remodeled it, tore it down, and rebuilt it. And there's still another phase to come. And he mentioned the $50 million that they put into Fog Allen Fieldhouse. So again, that tells you what you're competing against right there. Arizona is putting, and the Arizona Board of Regents has authorized $50 million into both facilities for football and basketball. Kansas put $50 million into their basketball facility alone. And that was actually last year. So that was open in time for the most recent season, 24-25, when the Wildcats went back there and played in the final regular season game and won last year. They took 1,000 seats out, but they upgraded brand new state-of-the-art video board, 32 additional new concession stands, and a modernized fan experience. Now, I don't know exactly what that part of it means. Maybe we'll ask some of the folks that went back for that game last year, but they wouldn't know because they probably weren't there for the previous fan experience to know if it was modernized or how it was modernized. But that's what Kansas is doing. So can Arizona keep up? Can Arizona keep up with the Jayhawks? I was going to say the Joneses, but I'll just say they both start with J. So I'll say the Jayhawks. With all of they're doing in football, basketball, and I would imagine we saw a pretty nice volleyball facility that the ladies played in when they went back there and played on national TV that one Sunday earlier. I think it was about a month ago. So there's a lot of things happening on a lot of these campuses. Arizona trying to keep up with the Joneses or the Jayhawks as they continue now into year 2 of this experience in the Big 12. And how are we holding our own? How are we holding our own against these new schools, this new competition that we are faced with? Tonight, BYU will be here. Volleyball, we'll get into that in the 5 o'clock hour as well. We'll let you hear from Charita Stubbs and Renee Jones as they get set to take on the Cougars. How are we establishing ourselves as a new member in this conference? 520-848-1290 is the number if you have a thought on that.
Maybe it's not a former alumni business person or a former alumni athlete, but a former alumni athlete who's now a business person. Like Andre Iguodala is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Like $200+ million career earnings. But if you know anything about it, Iggy, his whole thing, DK, has been Silicon Valley and in investing in what's it called? angel investors and all that stuff that they're doing. So he's been heavily involved in that and very high business acumen. He didn't exactly leave campus maybe in the most positive way from both parties, but that's all been fixed along the way. But it's going to probably take a group effort. We've talked about this, but there's not that one character that you think of. So many famous names, right? Like Bob Baffert, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So many famous names that either came out of this academic or athletic side of things at the U of A. But man, money really does rule everything these days. It was really 15 years ago for me when Calipari was at Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they put $30 million DK into the freshman dorm, right? Like they had these $2 million rooms. You're going to come here. You're going to be here for 6 months. You're going to drop out of your classes. You're going to go right to the NBA. And that's why he had 10 consecutive number one ranked recruiting classes, because that was the pitch. Come and stay in this NBA level facility as an 18-year-old, but long before you could ever pay college athletes. But having, at best, having the facilities, like Brian said there, the highest level possible facilities to have those high school athletes come in and improve themselves physically with that goal to get to the next level. If you don't even have that to offer, you're in trouble. I think, as I said in the first segment, fan experience as far as stadiums and seat backs and lighting and all of that, what it looks like on TV is the lighting thing. But fan experience is really what you really need to focus on. And then secondarily, whatever the student athletes are looking for, and that changes year by year. Maybe they want 6'7" on their lockers. Who knows? I mean, it's a different era of student athletes than we are familiar with. But whatever that is, it's going to take that to continue to get the highest level talent out of high school to choose the U of A, because every other university that does have the means, DK, is doing that as we speak.
Steve Kerr is obviously, he would be on that list of, I would imagine,
biggest fanboy of Arizona basketball, Arizona athletics that there is, too. I mean, He always goes out of his way to talk about how glowingly about all the lessons he learned while on campus and takes with them to this day.
Got to find those people. And I know that they're doing a really good job. But we've noted the donations that have come in this year. For Ken Coit, obviously, naming the athletic director's spot, as well as another donation that came in when we were out at the Red Blue game that week, and they were honoring some of those folks. But and those have to keep coming. Those have to keep coming if you're going to be able to compete with folks that are just writing checks for $300 million to rebuild football stadiums, and that's what it is. That's what it is right now in college athletics. And if you want to be a player, you got to be playing in that atmosphere. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. So last night the Suns lost. They'd won 2 in a row, but Golden State got them again. Second time they played the Warriors. Warriors got the win last night, 118-107 on the road. So again, Suns, they're going to be up and down like that, I think, this year. But good to see, though, that they're at least starting to find some footing and on their way back, hopefully to getting close to 500 or therefore above.
Dylan Brooks had his first Suns moment last night.
Did he play? Finally, yes.
No, but did you see his Suns?
No.
His first Dylan Brooks Suns moment, his Suns jersey. He got a technical in street clothes from the bench.
Oh, he got great. Not surprising. He got a technical.
Talking to the refs. The refs gave Dylan Brooks a technical. He was not playing in the game.
We heard from Becky Burke today. We had the Becky Burke press conference show. So they released, I'll tell you this information here while we have a moment heading into the top of the hour. They released Becky Burke's radio show information. And actually I think we've gotten both radio show information. So Tommy Lloyd is going to primarily be on Thursdays this year. I think all but one of his shows, 2 of his shows are going to be on Thursday. There's one Wednesday show in December, and then there's a Monday show, looks like in March, right before the NCAA tournament. But Tommy will primarily be on Thursday. I think Tommy, didn't he go at 5 last year? He moved back to 6.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would stay with 5 to give us that little extra break. That we so love our short Thursdays here at Wildcat Radio's 1290. But Tommy Lloyd's show will be at 6:05 during the regular. First show will be December the 11th, and I believe that will also be at Union Public House. So chance to go out there and see him most Thursdays through the end of the season. Also, we found out today.
Bring your napkins.
Yes, if you want to draw up plays with him, please do that. Becky Burke's shows are kind of going to be all over the place. So you're going to have to kind of be mindful week to week just because of the nature of their schedule. Their first 2 shows are going to be on Tuesdays in December. There'll only be 2 shows in December, December 2nd and December 9th. So those will be coming up here in about a month. Then it'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday. So it'll kind of be all over the place with Becky Burke. But you can hear all of those radio shows over on our sister station, Freedom 1400. And, of course, Brian Jeffries will host the men's basketball coaches show. Derek Palmer will host the women's basketball coaches show. And Brent Brennan still has his shows. They'll move back to that Monday time slot. They've been Tuesdays the last 2 weeks because of the basketball games. But back to Monday night next week at the Union Public.
I think we'll get 2-drink minimum for Coach Burke.
2-drink minimum. I don't know. I would imagine. It doesn't say where, but I would imagine they'll be back at the Sands Club. I don't know that they're going to be in a different location. But
I just mean the last like
it's going to be
8-10 years has been a bit of a comedy club kind of environment for those coaches shows.
Right.
So
it has. I don't know. We'll see if Becky can handle that.
I like her a lot. I like everything she has to say.
We'll see. We'll see if she's entertaining, and we get a fun show out there for the women's basketball fans who love to flock and have flocked to that radio show over the course of the last few years. DK on the Sports Tip, 5 o'clock hour straight ahead. We'll hear from the volleyball crew on their big game tonight against BYU, plus a little bit more. I've been telling you, and maybe I'll try to get you one of these interviews here in this next half hour as well. Went up to Star Pass a few weeks ago. They've totally redone Star Pass Golf Club and talked to a few people up there. I'm going to get you one of those interviews coming up as well in this next hour here. Let you hear about it's one of my favorite golf courses here in Southern Arizona. In fact, it is my favorite golf course here in Southern Arizona, Star Pass, and they've done a ton in remodeling the course, the greens, the clubhouse. They took out the barbecue joint. I like the barbecue, but they've kind of refined that menu into something more Sonoran based. So we'll tell you a little bit all about that coming up as well in the 5 o'clock hour. DK on the Sports Tip, you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision center reported at Silver Lake and Park Avenue in Silver Lake, Mission and Irvington, and a crash that occurred Midtown, Speedway Boulevard near Alvernon, and impacting eastbound Speedway Boulevard approaching Alvernon Way. 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Homecoming is right around the corner, and the Kansas Jayhawks are in town for a 1:30 kickoff, Arizona Stadium, Saturday, November 8th on Military Appreciation Day. Come celebrate homecoming on campus all day alongside 50,000 of your closest friends. It all starts with the electric tailgate scene starting at 7:30 in the morning, then on to the high-flying action on the field. Get your tickets now by calling 520-621-2287 or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/FB.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain. No one should go hungry, especially at Thanksgiving. That's why Gospel Rescue Mission is hosting our annual Thanksgiving Blessings event. Join us on Wednesday, November 26th for a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. Also, clothing, haircuts, additional resources, and life-changing opportunities. Celebrate the holidays with us, because Thanksgiving is better when we share it together. Visit grmtucson.com to learn more.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Yes, it's November already. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. So if you've been waiting to do vehicle maintenance, repair, or even a new set of tires, there's great news. November is the biggest rebate time of the year. If you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through crazy road construction, Jack Furrier's has got you covered. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local's choice for savings, great service, and 14 award-winning locations. This month, you'll save big on all Michelin brand tires. Get back $160 to $220 on the tires Consumer Reporting magazines rank the very best. Like the smooth-riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2 for cars and CUVs, or the durable Defender LTX for SUVs and trucks. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care has them all, and they're all on sale with big rebates all month long. Check out jackfurriers.com for details and even more specials where you can make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Question: why would you shop anywhere else for your favorite tobacco products if you can save up to 40% at Tobacco Barn?
I don't know.
Why? If you can save by paying no state sales tax and no city sales tax because Tobacco Barn is on the reservation.
I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to say.
Plus, save an additional $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
I don't know how I missed that before.
What is happening? When you shop at Tobacco Barn, save up to 40%. That's 40% off your favorite tobacco products. You won't pay any state sales tax or pay any city sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Just our way of saying thank you for your business. Shopping anywhere else is kind of crazy.
I love it! I love it! I love it! Come on, Jerry. It's time to go back to your cell now.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is volleyball night in Arizona. Your Wildcats back at McHale Center to take on the BYU Cougars tonight. Looking for some more fabulous play from this young lady, freshman Renee Jones.
We are really playing athletes on display, fun back and forth. And a block at the net. Renee Jones right next to her bodyguard, Journey Tucker.
That's a pretty nice bodyguard to have in Journey Tucker, one of the better middle blockers on this team. Wildcats, Cougars, Arizona comes into tonight at 12-9. They are 6-5 in Big 12 play. BYU is 18-5. They are the number 21 team in the country, so another ranked matchup for your Arizona Wildcats. The Cougars are also, however, 6-5. And then you got Texas Tech, and this is the one that really kind of stings right now because the Wildcats went down to Texas Tech last week and got their doors blown off by a team that had one win in the Big 12. So they're not a very good volleyball team. The Wildcats did not play very well that night, but they rebounded, and it was the third loss in a row because they had lost the games to Iowa State and to number 6 Arizona State in the rivalry match the prior weekend. So they really needed to try to get up off the schneid to avoid the 4-game losing streak, and they were able to do that last Friday night, Halloween Friday night, Volloween, as they called it that night, with a 3-set sweep over the number 13 ranked TCU Horned Frogs. So another big one tonight against BYU at home. And then that match against Texas Tech, that will be on Friday. It's going to be an early match, though. It'll be a Friday morning match at 11 a.m. at McHale Center. So that might be one of those Kids Day deals that they're doing on Friday. I mentioned Renee Jones. So Renee is a freshman, but she's really only a freshman in name. She's actually more the age of the Wildcats sophomore class because Renee reclassified down after she graduated from high school. Renee this week talked about her decision to do that.
Yeah, so for me, I had gotten type 1 diabetes around like middle of my junior year of high school, and it was just, it's very difficult to figure out because it's a new disease. It switches up your entire world, so reclassifying really gave me an extra year to be able to figure everything out, gain my skill of volleyball back, because once I got back on the court, it felt like I'd never played volleyball a day in my life. So just being able to get myself back together before getting to college.
So she reclassified down and took a year and went to play at IMG Academy. Now, you've heard of IMG Academy. It's one of the prep schools, one of the more popular prep schools in terms of where kids can go and not necessarily post-grad. You can go there as an undergrad. And when I say post-grad, post-high school grad, you can go there as a high school student as well and play athletics. But there are students like Renee who will go post-high school and play there. And they had never had a volleyball program. You hear about them for basketball, you hear about them for football and some of the other sports, but they'd never had a volleyball program. So Renee Jones went down there and actually helped start IMG Academy's volleyball program. I mean, how cool is that to be a part of that first class? And Renee talked about playing at IMG Academy.
It was fun because I got to start something new, start something fresh, just be able to be a part of the start of a new program entirely. And I got to learn how to be a leader. They taught us a lot more about being a student athlete than rather just going to a regular school and just like them prioritizing all your academics. Like sports are just backup option because for a lot of athletes, like this is our way into college, this is our way into what we want to do with our lives. So they helped us more in focusing on our athletics as well as making sure we were prepared for college academics.
Renee Jones won back-to-back state championships playing volleyball in high school before her decision to go down to IMG College. And J-Dub, not the first Arizona Wildcat to have competed for that prep school down there.
Yeah, Australia's finest Josh Green, former Nico Mannion running mate, went to IMG.
Yeah, so the Wildcats have had some success.
A long list. Zach Eady went there most recently. Michael Beasley was the first guy I think I heard of way back. We talked about that yesterday when Koa Pete became the first college freshman in his debut to have 35-5 since Michael Beasley did. I don't know when IMG started, but it was right around that time, I think.
There you go. She comes from a very interesting family. Pretty much all. It's kind of like Koa Pete's family for Renee Jones. She has three sisters. Her mom played basketball up in Canada. Her mom's Canadian, played at Winnipeg. Her dad played basketball at Maryland, and he played professionally overseas. She has a sister that played volleyball at Maryland, who now plays professionally. She has another sister who plays volleyball. In fact, she has a twin sister who plays volleyball at Pitt. And she had another sister who's on the crew team at Drexel. Drexel is in Philadelphia. And her brother played basketball at Charleston Southern. So the entire family, all her siblings, she's one of five, all her siblings have played collegiately in some form.
Not a lot of crew teams in Arizona.
No. I used to remember crew. Crew was always, I was like, thought that was kind of a cool sport when I got to college. And I'm like, what is crew? Crew is rowing. Okay. I used to watch some crews when I worked in Ohio. I worked right next to a river, and they would be out there practicing at like 6 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of cool to watch them do
fog coming off the water, yeah.
Yeah, no question about that. Head coach Charita Stubbs talked about what she feels like Renee got out of that post-grad year at IMG Academy.
I think she learned how to live on her own. I think she learned how to try to figure things out. And so when she came in, she literally was above the other freshmen just because every day was like, okay, I got this. And, she still had to get caught up in terms of what we were doing athletically, but just a routine of everything. And nothing seems to worry Renee, which is really nice, which is why freshmen tend to struggle a little bit because every day is a new day for them. They're wondering and guessing, and that just wasn't the case with her.
Now, she's been dealing with some injuries and really did not play. She played in the first couple of matches early in the year, and then she sat out for literally almost a month and a half. Returned for the Arizona State game. That was the first game she got extended action. Had 5 kills in that game. She plays opposite, so she's on the opposite side generally of Jordan Wilson, and really gives a different dynamic because of her height. She is 6'5". And the Wildcats had kind of been playing a little bit small on that opposite side for the early part of the season. Charita on what Renee Jones adds to the lineup when she's in there.
She has the size that automatically will make attackers think. Not saying they won't challenge her or think they can score off of her, but it's a different look when she's there versus when Anna's there. And then, just being able to put the ball in various areas is something that we needed on a consistent basis. So she's right in the thick of things, and Anna's still fighting, Britt's still fighting, and that's what you want. You want the competition of no one's off dwelling, going, oh, I didn't get my turn, or I can't believe she's playing and I'm not.
So far, since coming back, 15 kills for Renee Jones. She had 5 in the loss to ASU. She had 4 in the loss to Texas Tech. Came back with 6, a career high in the win over TCU. Hit 250 in that match, and also had 5 blocks, 5 total blocks. That's a big element, and that was a huge part of the reason they were able to sweep TCU last Friday night, was her ability to get up there at the top of the net and bat and roof balls down, as we like to say here in Tucson. So Arizona will take on BYU tonight, Texas Tech on Friday. Coach Stubbs on what she expects and what she wants to see from her club in these 2 critical home games they've got coming up.
Well, I want to see us carry over what we did against TCU in terms of just staying composed and following the game plan and the scout. I want to see us be able to do that. And then also want to see us be able to shake off whatever the negativity that comes on, because the opponents have an opportunity to be good as well. And I can't take anything away from Texas Tech. They had a plan and they stuck with it. But I don't want us getting so amped up that, I got to prove a point, because at the end of the day, the loss stays. It's not like it gets wiped away. And so we want to be just focused on our side of the court and, be able to enjoy being home for an extended amount of time, which doesn't seem like we've had a lot of that.
No, they've been traveling a lot this year. They did more traveling in the non-conference early part of the year than they normally would to get out there and play some different competition, get Washington and some, obviously going to number 1 Nebraska and playing there. And the Big 12 travel has not been easy as well this year. So to have 3 straight home matches is a real benefit. But then they got to turn around and go on the road. Now, the last 3 road games of the regular season are not going to be difficult. You're going to go up the street to Arizona State and then a trip up to BYU and Utah. So easier travel than what they've had to going to Central Florida and Houston on the same weekend, then turning around and going back to Iowa State and then to Texas Tech. But a chance to finish strong. 6th place right now. They're tied for 6th place. They're 6-5 in conference play. They're tied with BYU and TCU, the team they just beat, the team they'll play tonight, for that 6th position in the Big 12.
You just got to have a really good playlist or, a series of podcasts that you've been missing out on.
No, they've got a game they play. We'll talk. I'll give you that on Thursday. They've got this card game they play. It's called I forget what it's Assassin something that they play.
Right.
Yeah,
like werewolf kind of thing.
Yeah, it's I'll forget who
it's
it was.
Basically where one person's bad or 2 people are bad and everybody else has to figure out who's bad. Yeah.
Exactly. Jordan Wilson talked about it a couple weeks ago. I'll play that for you coming up tomorrow.
It's good team building exercise.
Absolutely. They really enjoy that game for sure. All right, 6:00 first serve tonight at McHale Center. Number 21 BYU. And Arizona in volleyball. Cricket is back. She came in here. She was falling over because her pockets are so jammed with all kinds of stuff, sweet deals and tickets and all that. What you got now for the people, young lady?
Well, thank you for calling me young lady. I have got another chance for you to see the Tucson Roadrunners. The fellows are back at the arena this weekend to take on Coachella Valley, and I have 4 ducats for Saturday night.
What?
Ducats.
4 ducats?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm cool.
So cool.
I don't know that rhymes with cricket, though. Cricket's got ducats. Is that where we're going with this now?
We could do that. I like it. It's kind of fun.
Cricket's got ducats.
Yeah.
Can you make that happen, J-Dub? Cricket's got duckets.
I'll
Can we
ask,
get- can we
I'll
get
ask
the
our
big
big voice guy
Can we
if he
get the
could
big
take care of
voice
that
guy
for
to
us.
do that there? Well, see, we can have 2 different intros. Yeah, she's special now. We got to have 2 different intros. We got to have the cricket. One day it's going to be Cricket's got tickets. The next day it's going to be Cricket's got ducats.
Yeah.
All right.
And these ducats, by the way, are going to caller 2 today. Not caller 1, but caller 2. I have a disclaimer, though.
Oh, boy.
This is some official
Wait.
legalese stuff.
Oh, legalese.
Yeah, I got some legalese. This is my disclaimer. You cannot have won anything from any of our radio stations in the last 30 days. We do have 5 radio stations in the building: Kim FM, The Vibe, K-Hit, Freedom 1400, and, of course, Wildcats Radio 1290. You cannot have won anything on any of those stations in the last 30 days to get these tickets. Oh, I'm sorry, ducats. Sorry. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Caller 2. Head into the Tucson Roadrunners game this Saturday night for the game against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Face off at 7 p.m. Good luck.
We got disclaimers now. This
Sorry.
game is a copyright of the Wildcats Radio 1290. Any reproduction, rebroadcast of this without express written consent of Kenny Kowalczyk and Cumulus Media is strictly prohibited.
Fancy.
So there you go. Outstanding. Cricket and her ducats and all kinds of things. We got the Roadrunners home this weekend against Coachella Valley, the Firebirds. They're really good, so we got to play well in order to beat them for sure. All right, let's find out if we've got. I think J-Dub is still working on the. We got the lines are just jammed pack over there, with people trying to get these ducats from you. My goodness. All right, we'll hang out here until he lets us know we're ready to go with. I think we do have a winner over there right now. All right, we got a winner, J-Dub? Yeah. Let's hear from Gerardo. Gerardo, you are on DK on the Sports Tip. Jerry?
Yes.
Jerry, you're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290. Congratulations, you're going to see the Tucson Roadrunners on Saturday night. Cricket's got ducats for you.
Nice.
Have you ever
Very
used
nice.
Have you ever used the term ducats to refer to tickets to an event?
No, but I've heard people call them ducats instead of tickets.
Well, there you go. You a hockey fan, Jerry?
Oh, yeah. I'll go to a hockey game.
Okay. You got a jersey? You got a hockey jersey you can wear?
No, I don't.
If you were going to buy a hockey jersey, whose jersey would you buy?
I don't know.
No? Okay, you're just going to go and have fun and watch people fight.
Yeah, drink
or
beer
watch the players
and
fight.
stand close to the
Not
glass.
people. We don't want people like people in the stands fighting.
Right,
We
right.
just want to reserve the fighting for the guys on the ice if they so choose to do so.
I can wear my UA baseball jersey, right? Or
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, you don't have a Ice Cats. You don't have a U of A Wildcats hockey jersey you can wear.
No, I don't actually.
I mean, we gotta get you dressed out, Jerry. We gotta get you dressed out for the game. Jerry, stay on the line. J-Dub's gonna get your information. Have fun. Who are you gonna take to the game with you?
My fiance,
Oh, cool. What's her name?
Ana Maria.
Ana Maria.
Who are you gonna take to the game? Yeah.
Okay, where are you? Where you guys? When are you guys getting married?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
At the hockey game
Maybe
this
you'll
weekend.
get married at the hockey game.
This weekend at
Yeah,
the
there
hockey
you
game.
go.
All right. Well, have fun, Jerry, with Ana Maria, and we appreciate you calling.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
All right, hang on. All right, Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions that are reported at Wetmore and Flowing Wells, Thornydale and Hardy, and also Oracle and McGee. Some slowing on the westbound side of I-10 near Valencia. 57 the overnight low, 85 tomorrow, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at macysbackstage.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 15th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain. No one should go hungry, especially at Thanksgiving. That's why Gospel Rescue Mission is hosting our annual Thanksgiving Blessings event. Join us on Wednesday, November 26th for a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal. Also, clothing, haircuts, additional resources, and life-changing opportunities. Celebrate the holidays with us, because Thanksgiving is better when we share it together. Visit grmtucson.com to learn more.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Cruising down I-10, it's not just traffic you dodge, it's flying rocks, blown tire chunks, desert debris, and the sun never quits. That's Tucson life.
But with paint protection film from Recon Auto Detailing, my car stays flawless, no matter how many miles I put on I-10.
It's more than protection. It's peace of mind every drive, every highway run, every day. Keep your car looking showroom new. Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson. Armor for your ride.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400, AZROC 214570.
Hi, I'm Mike Ham with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Week 9 of the NFL season came to a close Monday night in Dallas with the Cardinals beating the Cowboys 21-17. Arizona quarterback Jacoby Brissett threw for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win, with the defense coming up big, recording 5 sacks and 1 interception in the victory. Elsewhere, Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a dislocated elbow in Sunday's game in the fourth quarter against the Seahawks. He's going to miss several games this season. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft carted off the field with a torn ACL. He's going to be out for the remainder of the year. And with the trade deadline looming, the Dolphins have traded pass rusher Jalen Phillips to the Eagles for a 2026 third-round pick, while the Ravens have acquired edge rusher Draymond Jones from the Titans for a conditional 2026 fifth-round pick. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Cricket's got ducats now. Man, this thing is just flying out of control. Flying out of control here.
I had to look it up, and ducats is an acceptable phrase for tickets, apparently.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I've used it before. Absolutely. Thanks to Jerry and Anna Maria. Congratulations on getting engaged. That's kind of cool. They'll be going to see, maybe they'll decide they want to get married at the hockey game. You never know. You never know. Maybe not this one, but one down the road. All right. I was telling you earlier, last week, Star Pass, it's absolutely my favorite golf course here in Southern Arizona. Just a beautiful, beautiful track. Although I did say I played out at Saddlebrook Ranch over the summer, and really, this is the first time I'd ever played Saddlebrook Ranch, and I absolutely fell in love with that course as well. But Star Pass has traditionally been my favorite course here in Southern Arizona. There's actually 3 different courses up at Star Pass. You've got the Gambler, the Pioneer, and the Palmer. They're all 9 holes. You can play, you play 2 of them as a combination to get your 18 holes in if you're playing up there. And they've gone through a total revitalization, new fairways, new greens, new clubhouse. As I mentioned, they redid the restaurant. They had a grand opening, kind of a soft opening, a couple Fridays ago, and was able to go up for that event. And so I'm going to let you hear from 2 people that we chatted with during our time up there. We chatted with David Stout, who's basically his official title, J-Dub, and get this, because I'd never even heard of this particular title before. David Stout is the vice president of science and agronomy. Vice president of science and agronomy. That
sounds like an MIT title, not a golf course.
Basically,
title.
yeah. Basically means he's like the chief grounds guy and chief turf guy. He takes care of everything that's got to do with anything.
The most important job at a golf course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. VP of Science and Agronomy. I'm probably pronouncing the agronomy part of that wrong. So if I am, please let me know. So you're going to hear from him. But first, I'll let you hear from the GM of Star Pass Golf Club. His name is David Loomis. Had a chance to catch up with him about all the exciting things going on up at the Star Pass Golf Club. You really have to get up there and see all of this. Let's hear from David.
You guys have done obviously a big remodel here. What was the plan going in for what you guys wanted to do out here at Star Pass?
Certainly, the restoration of the golf course, there really hadn't been any updates done to the golf course in nearly 40 years. So we really needed to renovate the bunkers and the greens, the two kind of the oldest pieces of the golf course that needed the most work. So upgraded all 27 holes of greens to Bermuda Tiff Eagle, so really good, consistent putting surface throughout the year, summers and winters, and then a full clubhouse renovation here for the building.
How long had this plan been in the works?
It had been in the works for about 2.5 years. So we did kind of eased into the golf course renovations. In year one, we did all 27 holes of bunkers and 9 holes of greens. And then this last summer, we did the other 18 holes of greens. And then it kind of correlated with the clubhouse renovation. So the greens renovation and clubhouse kind of all came together at the same time right now.
What was the changes here to the clubhouse?
The clubhouse, overall, it was really to just brighten everything up. There wasn't a lot of light in this room, so we opened up the bar. Used to be kind of around the corner in a dark area, unseen it. So now the energy is right in the middle of the clubhouse when you first walk in. The windows open up, and the patio was not a lively place, but now that it's really an open air restaurant overlooking basically the 18th green right here, it's got some good energy.
Folks that have been up here before will remember it as a barbecue restaurant, but not so much anymore. What was the kind of the idea to go into what you guys wanted to, how you wanted to remake the restaurant?
So the goal with the restaurant was to make it so the membership would want to eat here 2-3 days a week. I love barbecue, but I'm probably not going to eat it several days out of the week. So to have a little bit lighter menu, so going authentic Sonoran food kind of opens us up to, could be the seafood from kind of southern along the ocean to local food up here.
In terms of the clubhouse, what was it? Was that expanded as well for the members?
So the usable space for us definitely was expanded. There was some unusable space in the main lobby that now opens up into the golf shop. Golf shop's super bright. There were fixtures we had great windows, but there were fixtures that were kind of covering up the natural light. So opening that up, the light wood floors really brightens things up. And then a refresh to both the ladies and men's locker rooms as well.
In terms of just the course itself, I know having played here before, there are a lot of blind shots. Did you guys change the structure of that at all, or was it basically the structure of how it plays stayed the same?
We did. We opened up a lot of the sight lines on the golf course. As we were going through the kind of the overall plan of the golf course, a lot of those blind shots, I guess, were non-native species, non-native trees, the African sumac and the salt cedar. So by getting rid of those, and really Phase 1 was a desert restoration program that really cleaned up the sight lines around the golf course so that it's not hitting through a tunnel anymore. It's much more open.
Still three separate courses?
Three nines, and so we do work different rotations throughout the day. But the good thing is now that we've got the classic rotation back up into premium shape, PGA Tour Q School's coming back in December to Star Pass here.
That's awesome. Anything else that people are going to find interesting when they come up here for the first time?
For the first time, I mean, I think we all kind of know the story of Phil Mickelson winning as an amateur, but it's kind of the memories kind of faded a little bit that it really happened here at Star Pass. So telling that story and the PGA Tour roots that this property has is what we want to tell going forward. And by having Q School back here in December, it's really come full circle, which is pretty cool.
You mentioned Q School. Are you guys looking to try to bring any tournaments here, larger scale, minor league, Corn Ferry, any of that stuff, kind of thing?
At some point, hopefully. But I think starting to build the relationship with the gentleman from the Corn Ferry Tour, with that they're the ones that really put on and organize the qualifying school. So stage 2, building that relationship. And really proving the golf course and the facility that hopefully it's capable of hosting one of those in the future.
Yeah, that was David Loomis, the general manager up at Star Pass. So, I mean, that's really cool to hear that Q School is going to be, that's the qualifying school for the PGA Tour, is going to be coming back out to Star Pass. That will be coming in December 2nd through the 5th was when the tour school will be out. So it's one of 5 venues for stage two of PGA Tour Q School. So that is really cool.
I'm not so sure that a giant portrait of Phil Mickelson in the entryway is maybe the best way to sell a golf in Tucson, considering he's famously an Arizona State alumni.
Right. That's true. That's true. But he got that. That was back. He got the first Conquistadors helmet.
I remember, yeah.
Back in the day here, or at least his first win on tour was a Conquistadors helmet back in the day. All right. I want you to hear, before we get to break, I want you to hear from David Loomis. From David Stout. He is the Vice President of Science and Agronomy. He was the guy charged with redoing all the greens and the bunkers. Let's hear from David just a little bit about how that all went down. He's with Troon Golf.
How did you get into this business?
Well, I was delusional enough in high school to think I could play collegiate level golf, and realized real quickly that wasn't reality. So was able to combine my love of the game of golf with science, and went into agronomy and turfgrass science at Penn State many years ago.
So was that, did you go into that with the intent of getting into golf agronomy? Were you just looking maybe to be a groundskeeper of any sort, or how did that work?
I went to Penn State. That was always kind of a given for me, and then selected the agronomy program once I realized what I could do with it, being a golf course superintendent or working for a golf club. So from the moment I entered into the agronomy program, I was pretty set on being in golf, went one way or the other.
So tell us what's that track like? What are you learning in college that allows you to get into this industry and be able to start to be the type of person that redoes golf courses around the country?
Well, every program is a little bit different, but the program that I went through was the 4-year Bachelor of Science program. You learn about plant physiology, entomology, soil structure. You go through everything, and even the first 2 semesters of the program, you're in all the general education courses. So I was roommates with chemical engineers, and we were all in the same classes for the first year, and then that second year forward, you begin to take all of your turf science courses, again, soil chemistry, soil physics courses, and you just learn the basic kind of old school agronomy, which doesn't prepare you for doing any of this kind of work or dealing with, crews or peoples or memberships in general. So you learn the science, and then out here, on the job, you begin to learn to manage, people.
What was your first then job on the road to where you are now?
My first job in golf was a groundskeeper with Huntsville Golf Club in Pennsylvania, and I ended up moving from Pennsylvania to Arizona due to a very late, persistent winter my senior year of college, and I was a second assistant spray technician at True North. That was my first graduate job, and here I am 25-ish years later, still in Arizona.
Okay, so then what was the plan when they called you and said, we want to redo this everything here out at Star Pass? What did they tell you, and then how did you coordinate with them about how that was all going to take place?
Yeah, it was a fluid kind of deal. It was exciting to learn that, after a long period of time, that Star Pass was going to be under new ownership. I had already worked in Tucson for a number of years, so was very familiar with Star Pass. Knew it was a very good property, but after years of kind of some other sales and some sluggish economy out this way, it skipped a generation of renovations. So when Southwest Value Partners purchased it, I was immediately excited, and we began taking a look at prioritization of what we could do, how it would impact play, kind of the different phases, and then that led us to a kind of a multi-year strategy where 2 years ago we did all of the bunkers, bridges, cart paths, some desert restoration work, and then this year we finished off the rest of the greens, and it was really exciting and rewarding to see it all wrap up. And now after this overseed, it's great to see the finished product coming together. Now, still more work to do, but here we are, at least at this phase now.
Now, do you style the bunkers? Do you say, I want this bunker in this position, I want it to play like this? Is that kind of your role?
Sort of. I mean, a lot of the architectural design of the course stayed the same. We didn't really want to mess too much with that. A lot of what we did do was some of the bunkering was superfluous. When this course was built, the original 20 some years ago, labor was significantly less. There was usually more folks on crews. Things like sand was cheaper. And then on the newer set, the last course that was built, there was almost as many square feet of bunkers on that 9 holes than were on the original 18 combined. So what we ended up doing was just going in and taking bunkers that really didn't add much to the quality of the experience for the player or the golf shot. And we reduced those in size or removed several of those. And the bulk of the bunkers, we just left the same, cleaned them out, got crisp, clean edges, and just re-bowled them out. So again, architecturally left a lot of those alone.
One of the things I've always loved about this course is just the beautiful fairways. What did you guys do to enhance that?
We actually didn't do much on the fairways themselves. We adjusted some irrigation here and there. We got new irrigation software, kind of the latest and the greatest. That summer we looked at fertility. We did a lot of increased aerification during the closures. It's a great time to do it. There's no one out playing. There's no one who would be affected by it. And increased fertility a little bit, and overall redefined our overseed strategy. So now we have an enhanced overseed. Bermuda grass conditions are improved. They were good before on the fairways, but they're even better now. So fairways kind of came together organically for us. There wasn't that much that needed to be done from a pointed perspective.
David Stout, the Vice President of Science and Agronomy. I think I said agronomy at Troon Golf, who worked his way up from second assistant spray technician.
Yeah, apparently the second assistant spray technician is a very important job because you have to assist the senior spray technician,
right,
with the herbicides and whatnot.
Exact. Talk about making it. Great stuff that all those guys out there have done. And check it out. If you've played it since they reopened last week, I want to hear from you. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, because I have not had a chance I didn't get a chance to play it that Friday. We were up there. We were just up there checking it out, partying a little bit and that kind of thing, but did not actually get to play the new course. But I'd love to hear how it's playing now.
What's the difference between partying and golfing? Aren't they basically the same thing?
Yeah, I watched a 9-some come through, and they didn't. I was like, man, I could play with these guys.
Depends.
They're hitting the ball all over the place.
Depends who your foursome is. Yeah.
Exactly. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions that are reported at Ina and La Cañada and Ina, Camino Seco and Wrightstown, Ahoway and Alvernon, also crash at Wetmore and Flowing Wells. And for your weather, 57 the low, 85 tomorrow, and 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why their recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Hello, everybody.
Gary, why are you wearing a...
Hold on, Ron. Every time Gary walks in here wearing some goofy costume, you always say, Gary, why are you wearing that?
Yeah, but...
And then it turns into some long-winded story about Alaskifications.
Yeah, but...
Then Gary says something ridiculous.
Yeah, but...
And you agree that an Alaskification before winter is the best way to prepare for cold weather.
Yeah, but...
And how Alaskan AC guarantees no breakdowns.
Yeah, but...
And all it does is encourage Gary to walk around wearing a stupid-looking ski mask that no person in his right mind would get caught dead wearing.
Yeah, but he's wearing my ski mask.
Keeping my head protected, just like the Alaskification protects your heater.
My ski mask isn't stupid looking.
Look who's wearing it.
I choose to ignore that remark.
Because you know another one is coming.
Take off that stupid ski mask.
See?
And that's why you should schedule your Alaskification today.
What did we accomplish here?
I'm not sure, but today is a good day to Alaskify. Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Here for the Lowe's early Black Friday deals? You're right on time for some of our biggest savings. We're talking up to 50% off select major appliances, plus up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Holiday lights going up soon? Select ladders are up to 50% off right now. Get Black Friday prices without the Black Friday crowds. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 11/19. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' Cay. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heart Ball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. After trading Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts and Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Jets now have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts. And for what general manager Darren Muji did to work, he has to hit on 4 out of those 5 first-round draft picks he now has. He's allowed 1 mulligan, but that mulligan can't be used on the pick he uses to take a quarterback, and we'll see if that QB selection comes during the 2026 or 2027 NFL draft class. I'm Zach Gelb.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show today. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock, 3 to 5:30 tomorrow as we get you ready for Week 10 of the NFL season. And the first game of the week. I got to remember to, as John Bailina said yesterday, I got to remember to put my picks in for the survival.
You'd be in
pool.
first place.
I might be in first place
Thursdays.
if I didn't forget, because if you skip Thursdays, you automatically get a 14-point. You lose your 14-point win spot if you don't get your picks in. So I got to do that for sure. Tomorrow's game is the Raiders at the Broncos. The Raiders 2-6, the Broncos 7-2. 5:30 is the broadcast time on Westwood One here, Wildcats Radio 1290 with kickoff at 6:15. We're back to the international games this week, so it'll be an early start. We've got 2 more weeks, I think, this week and next week of the international games. So there'll be a game at 7:30 this weekend in the morning on Sunday. You'll hear that game. So we'll have 3 games again this Sunday on Wildcats Radio 1290. Falcons at the Colts in the morning. So Bijan is back on our air again here, Wildcats Radio 1290 NFL Berlin game. And then Lathan and his teammate, Lathan Ransom, and the Panthers are on our air. And, of course, as they always are every Sunday, that'll be at 11 a.m. Against the Saints. You'll hear that right after the morning game. And then, of course, Sunday Night Football to cap it all off. Steelers and the Chargers. We don't have any local high school players playing in that game, but you'll hear it here anyway.
One step closer to an embedded NFL team in Europe.
I'm telling you. You think?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
I can't imagine that ever happening.
They've talked about it for so long. It would be a logistical nightmare. But, I mean, how many games have they played there now? I mean, in Europe, not just South America, but Europe. It's got to be up to like 8 or 9 per year now these days, right?
And then Monday night's game is Packers-Eagles, Jordan Morgan. So we got 3 games on our air this weekend. That'll be on Freedom 1400. 3 games on our stations this weekend involving players who played high school football here in Southern Arizona. How about that? How about that? Who's giving you that? Who's giving you all of that? Who's giving it to you? Nobody. Wildcats Radio 1290. Nobody but us. All right, let's let you hear the best thing you heard on our station today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Yeah, I wonder if they opened up Star Pass like Sawilo. That's a really wide open kind of desert course there. If you've played it Sawilo lately, let me know how's it playing right now. All right, we had a chance to chat with Brian Haney. He's the play-by-play man for the Kansas Jayhawks. It is Kansas and Arizona for the first time in 59 years on the football field. These two have gotten together a pretty nice rivalry as being 2 of the best programs in college basketball. I said I believe this could be a rivalry in a lot of different sports as these 2 teams begin to play each other annually. And I asked Brian if the folks on the Kansas side feel like Arizona could become a rival in all athletics.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, the emergence on the basketball side of Houston as the recent flag carrier of the conference the last couple of years took some of us by a little bit of surprise because I think we just assumed when Arizona joined the league, it would be Kansas and Arizona duking it out at the top, and then you'd have a second tier. And it still may prove to be that over the next decade or so. But we were psyched when you guys joined the league just because of the great tradition that, Lute Olson and so many others have brought to that program. I've done games at the McHale Center before and was excited to get more of that action. But to see it now coming on the football side where both programs have tasted a decent amount of success, and as you said, both are on the doorstep of bowl eligibility should they win on Saturday. That certainly adds to the intrigue too. So I think it could definitely be one of those non-traditional, not necessarily geographic-centric rivalries, just based on programs and athletic departments that have a lot in common and a lot of mutual respect. That would be a great way, I think, to phrase it.
Chatting with Brian Haney. He is the play-by-play voice of the Kansas Jayhawks and Wildcats for homecoming Saturday here in Tucson. Brian, let's discuss the game changer, the potential game changer, and that's the new stadium. I did the fly-through this week, the drone fly-through. I think I'm still dizzy from that video. But what have been the immediate dividends of that building?
Well, the immediate dividends is it's the first time in 104 years we've had something new and shiny and nice. And, plenty of great memories in the old David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium, but to have something that's state-of-the-art, that right now, for your listeners' sake that may not know, it's 2/3 finished. They'll, as soon as we play our last game versus Utah this season, the stands on the east side will be demolished literally 48 hours later, and then they'll begin work on Phase 2. Phase 2 will not be completed before next season. They'll play in a in a temporary, partial capacity stadium next year, but it beats having to go into Kansas City and play all your games off campus, which was the case a year ago. But, it's truly as nice as anything you're going to find in the Big 12 because it is the newest and most state-of-the-art, if anything, in this conference. And so for our Kansas football players, staff, and personnel to feel like they have some of the best facilities and resources to work with, that's just not been the priority here for so long. And on top of that, in this age of revenue share, while we're not spending this season what Texas Tech is, and quite frankly, no one is in this league, KU is very competitive in the dollars that they've allocated to football revenue share. And so we've got an athletic director in Travis Goff, who's a KU grad, Kansas guy. He understands how important it is to have football in addition to basketball. And so you look at what he did here in his first 4 years as AD, $450 million phase one to the stadium, plus $52 million of renovations to Allen Fieldhouse for basketball at the same time. Because you can't just put all the eggs in the basket of the other sport. We're still pretty proud of Fog Allen and the Fieldhouse here that you guys had a chance to come in and take in last year. So there's been a lot of good things going on campus-wide. It's certainly ambitious to take this on in this brave new world of NIL and revenue share going on at the same time. That means you're hitting up your donor base for a whole lot, but it had to be done. Like I said, it had been a century between our last stadium build and football. So I love it that we have forward-thinking, visionary ADs and even academic leadership with our Chancellor, Doug Girard. And we've obviously had some generational generosity from the donor base to pull this off as well. I don't think they've put the all-in total out there yet on what it's going to cost once the stadium's fully done, but you'll be impressed when you hear it. And that's the type of statement that Kansas is making to be good every year in football. And that means contending in the Big 12, having a chance at the postseason, that kind of thing. There's just never been that kind of priority placed on it. Certainly not in my lifetime. And you'd have to go back to the Don Fambro days or maybe early Glenn Mason years to feel that way.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to Brian Haney for joining us on the program, as well as David Loomis from Star Pass Golf Club, David Stout from Troon Golf. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for a show. Brian Jeffries, we'll have Calvin Ifan. We'll talk Arizona football tomorrow as well. For JW Madden, for cricket, for Dragon Ball, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening, everybody. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Some slowing for travel on Keno Parkway near Ajo Way due to road work. Crashes that are reported at Ina and La Cañada in Ina, Ajo Way and Alvernon, and also Wrightstown and Camino Seco and Wrightstown. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. At Cool Willie's Plumbing, they'll help you with drain cleaning, water treatment, sewer repairs, and replacements. Trust the big guy. Contact Tucson's most respected plumbing experts at coolwillies.com, where they are big enough to help and small enough to care. That's coolwillies.com. coolwillies.com.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Rush into Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun this holiday season for the $100,000 Holiday Gold Rush. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Drawings are Fridays and Sundays at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Win up to $1,000 in free play when you match 2 prize cards, and every 100 slot or table points earned gets you another shot at the gold. Rush in today, only at Casino del Sol. enterprise of the Boscoyaki tribe.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people. But what's more, MediShare members like it. We know this from member surveys. They like it a lot. It's a proven thing now. MediShare has been around for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing, too. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they will waive your application fee. So you save $100 right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. Again, the deadline is November 15th, so call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tuned to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
And for JR tonight, you got me, Sports Machine Sean Levine, on the mic right here on the Infinity Sports Network. As somebody that grew up in Kansas City, I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan and Royals fan. I went to college at KU, so I'm Crimson and Blue, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk. But didn't grow up with the hockey team, didn't grow up with an NBA team. So in the NBA, I'll admit, I've been a bit of a Fairweather fan my entire life, or whoever I got my money on that night. We're like all of you that grew up in the same era that I did. You grew up a Bulls fan just because we were all Bulls fans. And then after a while, like most recent, I kind of like the Thunder. It's easy for me to say. What do I care? I don't have a team. In the NHL, I kind of did the same thing. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to pick a team based on nothing, maybe based on their logo. So now I declare myself a Utah Mammoth fan. Ryan, have you seen the logo for the Utah Mammoth?
Not just
it might be the best in sports.
Not just a logo. The jerseys are awesome, and the mascot's cool too. They have all
and
three.
The name and the colors and the team is 9-4. My only question is Mammoth correct, or should it be Mammoths? Is the plural of Mammoth Mammoth?
I'd assume so. I think this is a professional team. I think they've Googled it.
Yes, no, this is very much an NHL team, and I would think they've Googled it also, but that doesn't mean they're right. The internet's been wrong before. Maybe they just stuck with it. The Mammoths are up on the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, 1-0. Now let me ask you this while we're going down this road. The Utah Mammoth used to be the Phoenix Coyotes. And then when they moved to Utah, they became the Utah Hockey Club, and then they changed it to the Mammoth. They gave them this great logo and mascot and all that stuff. Shouldn't the basketball team do the same thing at this point? Why are they still called the Jazz? Of course, they were the New Orleans Jazz, and they moved into Utah, but that makes a lot of sense because I don't know if you've ever been in New Orleans, but there's a lot of jazz down there. So the New Orleans Jazz sounds cool, makes sense. Everything, that works. That checks out. I don't know if you've ever been to Utah. I guarantee you never heard any jazz. I promise you that. I've been to Utah 3 different times. Been skiing at Brighton, Park City, and, damn it, what was the other one? Never heard of jazz, I can tell you that much. Never seen a mammoth or mammoths. 888-710-4ISN is the phone number. Let's go out to Cali, where David joins us tonight on the Infinity Sports Network. What's up, David?
Hey, man, thank you so much for taking my call. Let me respond to what you just said your first. You know, teams used to not change names when they moved. And then, of course, once they move and they've been in that position they've been in that location for a long time and the tradition is already there, they hesitate to change names. I mean, the most obvious example of that is probably the LA Lakers. There are no significant lakes in the LA area, but the team has been in LA for so long that if you ask people from LA, you should change your name because there are no lakes in LA. I don't think you're going to find too many people who are going to say, okay, that makes sense.
But here's the thing. Let me push back, David. It sounds cool, LA Lakers, and last time I checked, I'm not very good at spelling, but the first 2 letters of the word Lakers are LA. So, like, there's a little bit that makes sense there. That. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Utah Jazz, bro, make that make sense.
Yeah, that was it was asked of their, I don't know if it was their current owner or former owner, whether or not the team name was going to change, and he said no because he said, we've been in Utah for this long, we've been called the Jazz for this long, we've had a lot of history and tradition here, we're not going to change the name. I know it doesn't make any sense, but we're not going to give it up. I think this was
not even a good name.
The Hornets.
It's not even a cool name. Not even a cool logo.
Trying to change the Pelicans. Yeah.
Yeah, and remember that, and they're the Bobcats for a while, then went back to the Hornets. The Bobcats was a bad one too. Yeah. Anyway, what'd you call me for, David? What's good,
that was because the Hornets were already taken in New Orleans. And then when the Hornets were changing their name to something that was more Louisiana-like, they wanted the Jazz back, but the Utah Jazz said no. So that was that.
I don't mind Pelicans.